Hello, friends, and welcome to Jackass, where Argo reads about Diablo for now. Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I just thought it would be funny.
What? Wow.
Argo said he can't get into the game.
No, I said I cannot imagine those normies try to get to the game. like.
Yeah. He's like, can't believe you're trying to get into it on launch. Good fucking luck. Anyway. Today
Mina.
Hi. Hello,
Can you explain to
Arsen.
me-
Welcome to... Yes?
Can you share the game to me? Thank
No.
you very much.
No. You're just gonna
Just
have
went
to
for it.
figure that
I
out
just went-
yourself.
Okay, fine. I just chill out on the site. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me try to log into Diablo in like 2 hours to get in, like other streamers do.
Argo, please. Why is this the wrong
Do you
one?
want to have a live? Do you want to have a live feed of the? Like did you actually have game launched?
Yeah!
Do you have audio and OBS of it?
It says so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm going to call you or not even checking before going live, and
Of course I did! What the fuck? You can go check the music.
of course
it should be
I
running
did.
right
Says
now.
Mina, who forgets about.
Grrr! Grrr!
So there is two things that are going to happen when I say, "Did you do something?" Mina is going to be like, "Why didn't you tell me?" Or, "Of course I did it." There is only two of those. You're always going to shit on me. You're always going to shit on.
I'm a hypocrite, okay?
One is going to shit on you because you didn't remind someone to do something, and the other was like, oh, how could you persist? I would forget about it. How could you?
You see, wait, I'm gonna send you. You see, this is me. This is me. That's me. I sent you an emote.
Oh, you sent me an emote, huh?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow. Do you want to know my comment about that?
Yes.
Do you really want to?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
Come on. You see it works again.
Nice. I can bonk you.
Yeah, you can also pet me. Also, because the
No.
pad was broken, I have now extended how long the pad lasts for.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a poor excuse.
What?
To just get patted for longer.
Shh. It's
Wow.
not that I want to get hit patted for longer.
Mina,
I'm not like that. Hi.
why do you have a Miku pillow?
Huh?
Do you have Miku pillow?
Have a Miku pillow? Where?
No, I just imagine Rika being a vocal.
She'd be a smashing Vocaloid, I think.
Yeah, like singing
Yeah.
of tune, being a silly noodle.
I do think she would be a terrible singer.
Yep.
I have my headcanons. I'd love to do one of those karaoke headcanons for the main Pokemon characters. Like the trainers and stuff and the teachers.
Mm.
But Rika would be Rika would be in the category of like sings really loudly but badly. Like is not afraid to sing but sucks. Is not afraid to belt it out really badly.
You know what's also not afraid to sing?
Who?
This segue to our sponsor.
Oh my god. Who's our sponsor? SingStar?
The what now?
Anyway,
Mina, what?
I think we need to start playing.
No.
Yes, we're gonna start playing, okay? See, here's the game.
I refuse!
Stop it! Stop it!
Laga, Kotowaru. Mina, how did you screw up the layering again?
Did I scoop the layering again? Wait. What happened? How did that happen?
How?
Let me just fix that. Just give me a sec. There we go.
Just don't screw up the headpads again.
I won't. Okay, there we go. Now it's just above the overlay. Yeah, no, I moved the chat this time. Okay, and my avatar is here, and the redeems are here. Okay, we're just testing it, because now it gave me anxiety. It's just... Okay, we click on the first. Okay. Alright, it's fine. Look. It's fine. I think I might have missed it, because there was no chat messages. I didn't notice. Also... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my life. VTuber.
You're a big shot, Mina.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so today Argo says he doesn't want to read, so I'm gonna be Jacopo.
No. I just dislike Jacopo that.
Yeah, he hates Jacopo that much. He just hates Jacopo that much, so now I'm gonna take over. Morning already, or is it the afternoon? Either way, it's about time I got up. Yeet! I'm just gonna do my normal voice with him, I don't give a shit.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Even Mina doesn't give a shit about Jacopo.
No. My back hurts like hell, why? Oh, right.
Oh my god, such a mood! Such a mood!
Such a mood!
Fucking hell. No, Mina, no. I actually have the live feed. I have a live feed of this performance.
I knew. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. There was something oddly revitalizing about the sunlight shining in through the open window, and the summer breeze lacked its usual stifling heat, though in fact feeling quite pleasant against my cheeks. A pair of long burgundy braids danced gently in the wind. Leaning against the windowsill and singing was a young girl, beads of light streaming down on her small robed body. I found myself staring, entranced by the sight. The ground where she stood seemed almost sacred, like it would be forever tainted if I set foot in it. The sound of her voice washed over me like a wave and seeped into my half-asleep body, permeating every fiber of my being. An indescribable amalgam of feelings... Amalgam. I hate that word. A feeling swelled up in my breast. I hate words.
Amalgam.
It was a feeling similar to the first time I had heard her sing, only incomparably more profound. It took everything I had to keep the fire from appearing on my face, spilling from my lips. I simply sat there in silence, taking in the sight and sound, when she slowly turned to face me, like the sunlight now illuminating her silhouette.
Silhouette.
Oh, I thought you were still asleep. What? This is unexpected.
What's unexpected?
Good morning. Morgana, your face! What of it? In a half-frenzy, I scrambled over to the window and grabbed her by the shoulders. Her eyes went wide for a moment, but she didn't shove me aside. Only stared. I could see my old reflection in her golden eyes, and then as my eyes grew accustomed to the light. I saw her as she was. Face covered in the same marks I knew so well. Damn, he got up so early he's hallucinating.
Wow, what a mood.
Right. What's wrong? Did you forget I was here? I could only imagine how stupid my face looked in that moment, mouth hanging awkwardly half agape as I attempted to chuckle, only a sigh managing to make it up and out of my throat. Sorry. Still not all the way awake. Was the face I had seen a mere illusion? A fantasy conjured up by my mind? Almost certainly. It was nothing more than a figment of my imagination, but I wanted it to be what she looked like when she healed. And I wanted more than ever to finally see it for real. Because I was standing so close, she had to tilt her head back more than usual to see me, resulting in her face, usually concealed by her hood, being exposed to the sunlight. Even covered in grotesque marks, I was close enough to make out the precise outline of her face, the exact shape of her eyes, the perfect straight line of her nose. With each passing moment, that vision began to seem more and more real. I summoned the image of her healed face once more. Standing before me was a girl who could easily pass as a noble, a beauty and dignity to match her impeccable singing voice. Imposing though she was, I was certain her smile would be filled with warmth. Is something the matter? Why are you staring at me? I know I'm hideous. You don't have to tell me, so get back. Morgana. What? I think I might love you. What the fuck? I take all of the defenses that I've made of you back. I take it back! Excuse me? The words came out entirely independent of my own will. I didn't grasp the meaning of what I had just said, until after I realized her brow was furrowed in perplexity. Until after, like a total buffoon, I thought, where's Morgana giving me that look? Damn it, how dare she? Bitch! A chill ran down my spine as I finally began to comprehend the absurdity of what I'd said. No. Not a single excuse came to mind. All my words simply vanished into a thick white fog. What did I say to her again? What did I say to this little girl? I loved her? Me?
You little girl.
In love with a child? Is that so? Why, thank you. You still don't sound surprised. How could you remain so calm? I'm barely keeping it together here. I don't see why I would be. You're only telling me what I already know. What? Say again? She already knew how I felt? I didn't even know how I felt. You care for everyone at the brothel.
That's called being dense.
You love all the girls at the brothel like they're your family. It's quite obvious from your actions. I suppose it doesn't hurt to put into words every once in a while, but in any case, you've made your feelings quite clear. You've made it clear that I count as one of them. Thank fuck that was how she interpreted it. That's very charitable of you, Morgana.
Right.
The only thing that's clear here is that you don't understand the first thing about my feelings. And that's the good thing! I sincerely hope you do not correct her! No, I meant... Do I really want to tell her right here, right now, that no, my feelings for her are different? No! You should damn head, Jacopo. She's 11 years old. And you're 21. Thank you for bringing it into... God, okay, what the hell's gotten into you? Yeah, I meant it exactly like that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I see. Well, I'll say... It means a lot to me to be seen the same as everyone else.
Oh.
Morgana.
Small Mina making cameo.
Oh, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. I'm sorry. Schmull.
Schmull.
I said nothing. You heard nothing. I hate the scene. God. What is happening to me? I have no idea what's going on anymore. Nothing made the damnedest bit of sense. I was having a difficult time accepting how taken I seemed to be with this girl. With this child. I covered my face with my hands, groaning and trying my best not to pay any mind to the pair of perplexed eyes I could feel staring a hole through me. And I thought, I have to at least wait until she turns 16. Preferably a little longer, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, 3 years. 3 years now.
What?
3 years. Time continued its slow, constant march, and soon winter was upon us. The skies were incredibly clear, hardly a cloud in sight. Jesus. I don't know why, but my nose is like...
I cry every team.
No, I'm not Cree. I'm not
sure?
Cree. Yes, crying would actually make this better. It might get some of that stuff out of my nose, but instead
you
it's
want
stuck.
to make you cry, or...?
No. Preferably not. Thank
Instructions
you.
unclear.
Nyakeos. What is Nyakeos doing?
Nyakeos?
Oh,
Nyakeos?
somebody got the RE4 Collector's Edition.
Huh?
I guess the remake.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah. The skies were incredibly clear, hardly a cloud in sight. Like, I don't know, whenever I have to enunciate, like... Yeah, I can feel it in my nostrils and it's annoying! By all appearances, the weather was great, until the occasional gust of wind came along and chilled me to the bone. Each breath came out in a puff of white, dissipating as it drifted upward. Yes?
She's a bone.
Indeed. Rubbing my arms, I made my way to where I knew I would find her. The graveyard.
The art of graves.
Indeed. Has she ever once skipped a day these last 3 years? Rain or snow, sweltering heat or bitter cold, she always seems to be here when I come looking. I let out a little sigh, then called for her. I swear. You spent so much time in this graveyard that one of these days someone's gonna mistake you for a gravekeeper, or maybe a grave robber. She turned around to face me. She looked moderately annoyed, her glare as piercing as ever. I could hear the soft bite of her voice before she even responded. Someone less familiar with her might perceive her mannerisms as standoffish, not unlike she had been when I first brought her here. But I could clearly tell the difference. She was warming up, ever so slightly. I can understand a grave keeper, but I take offense at the suggestion that I look like a grave robber. I'm praying for souls who have no one to see them off. She was no longer walking on eggshells through every interaction. And her sense of self-worth seems to have improved as well. I would even go as far to say she could get a bit cocky at times, generally at my expense. But that also meant I didn't have to tread quite so carefully around her either. Trading grievances and insults was becoming our personal kind of banter. Rather than signifying a widening rift, the increased level of abuse was a sign of how much closer we'd gotten. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I don't get it. Why do you care so much? These are souls that have no one else to pray for them. At best, they may get a bit of lip service from a priest once or twice. It's our responsibility to offer a helping hand to the sick and the poor. To pray for the abandoned souls. Oh boy, here comes another sermon. What I don't get is why you need to pray for the dead at all. They're just bags of bones. I hope you enjoy an eternity in hell, blasphemer. Hey, that was uncalled for. I'm joking, obviously. You take black humor to a new level. The fact that she would even call such remarks a joke was proof enough how far she'd come. This wasn't the first time I told her I thought the living were more important than the dead, and we still disagreed on that point. But our differences in values had caused her to push away much harder before than she did now. At least I was pretty sure she wasn't pushing me away as much. Hey, it's that time again, Morgana. Come on, don't turn away from me. I know you can hear me. I brought ointment, so let me put it on you. It's a waste of time. You don't know that. Your arms look much better than before. It won't be long before your face starts healing too. Ointment isn't free. You're wasting your money. It's my money. I can use it however I please. So just shut up and let me do this. You're a very obnoxious man, you know. What was that? You want me to rub it in real hard, do you? Fine. Well, it might appear I wanted something in return for my efforts. I wasn't in it for gratitude or reward. It was more like my way of retaliating. She badmouthed me, I made her take my ointment. Damn. Take my ointment, woman!
Oin. Oi.
Oi, ointment. Oi, what? Sorry. I just got real bad nausea from before.
Oh no. Today is cursed.
Today is cursed!
Why did you do?
Okay, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. We have performed this ritual hundreds of times now, though the exact shape of the exchange slowly evolved over time. Where would once desperately attempt to shoot down her assertions of wasting your time and there's no point, I'd come to realize that doing so only put unnecessary stress on her, so I started jabbing back instead. And for all her complaining, I was pretty sure Morgana wasn't entirely put off by my stubborn insistence. The day after the festival, when I declared my intent to keep trying to heal her face, she'd responded with, I won't stop complaining either, and I had said, I'll have to practice not letting it get under my skin as much, then. I still remember that day quite vividly, and I hoped she did as well. So while it might come off like we were genuinely fighting, in reality I quite enjoyed our little sparring matches. She was outwardly reticent and sulky as ever, but in a kind of charming way, now that we'd established this routine. Not having to be so painfully careful with my words made things easier for me as well. What are you laughing about? Oh, nothing. Hey, don't you give me that death glare of yours. You think this is me glaring? So I've been meaning to ask you something. And what would that be? What are you hoping to get out of repairing my face? I'm not trying to get anything. I just wanted to heal up. And here I thought you were gonna try and make me work at the brothel. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not gonna make you be a prostitute. What other reason could you have for wanting my face to get better? Because I want to see it? Is that enough? Isn't that enough? She's making the face. This is the face of displeasure. Just so we're clear, that wasn't me hitting on you, okay? The thought never occurred to me. I hope you're prepared to be let down if I ever do heal. In fact, you had best not get your hopes up at all. The higher you let your expectations climb, the greater your disappointment will be when I turn out to be equally hideous beneath these scars. Not even I can remember what I looked like before. I'm not afraid to be disappointed. That possibility is just part of the fun. You have as much tact as a worm. No tact and a preference for ugly girls, I'm told. I'm a real winner. What?
What is this worm hate I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm a real winner. Ugly. It's a wonder no one throttles you in your sleep. I'll still be your friend, even if you turn out to be the ugliest girl in the city. You should be grateful. You're unbelievable. And to think I used to think you were a half-decent man. If you'd like me to go back to walking on thin ice, I can, but my gut tells you that's not what you really want. There's a difference between not sugarcoating your words and being outright rude, you realize? Yeah, you want to talk? You have no tact! No, you have no tact! They're a very pot meat kettle kind of relationship.
This is the paper that says tact, I have it.
Yeah. How is it you haven't managed to chase off everyone in your life yet? I act like a decent guy around other people. Do my best to fit in. Then why are you such a dolt around me? Just doing my best to fit in. What a diss! What a diss! So you're saying this is my fault? Everyone could use a thorn or two. Makes it more exciting. You especially. Okay, that should be everything. Does this sting anywhere? Not particularly, no. Alright. Oh, also, finish up here and get back to the brothel soon. Unless you'd rather it drag you there. Why? Seriously? It's your damn birthday, that's why. And? What do you think, dimwit? Maria and the girls want to celebrate. Get back there soon, okay? I'm planning to drop by too. Okay? Okay. As much as I'm loath to admit it, she can be kind of cute when she's not wishing me an eternity in hell. Not that I'm ever letting those words leave my lips. So, hey, I thought you were leaving. One day, I'll show you the world. Sometimes I wonder if that's the only phrase you know. Yes, I heard you the first 100 times. I won't get my hopes up. And she thinks I don't sugarcoat my words. Get your hopes up, damn it. Anyway, I'll see you later. Was this the day of the raid? Was it actually on her birthday? I don't fucking remember, man. I'm sorry. I'm just waiting for her to go to shit.
Wow.
I had every intention of making good on that promise. Yeah. I just remember it got raided at some point and I'm just waiting.
Aren't they cute? They're animal crackers.
These are animals? An octopus?
Stupid! It's a penguin!
A hermit crab?
It's a lion!
It's a water flea!
A rabbit!
Loch Ness Monster!
A swan!
A Power Ranger!
A raccoon!
A salamander!
Alligator!
I know, a platypus!
A koala!
A koala! Never gets old.
A koala!
It's so good. like dubs are, you know, dubs can work and dubs can't work, but man, like these two actors
better
seem
dubs
to...
and worse dubs.
Yeah. Just like some like Japanese anime also fucking suck, you know, like.
Yep.
But I do just think that that these two, whoever they were, have great chemistry. Like, it's perfect. Though admittedly, it wasn't until recently that I could say so with such confidence. It was no longer a mere slum rat's fantasy. Our ranks were getting stronger by the day. Discontent with the Lord was up, but overall, so was our morale. I could feel it. Oh, I hate when I accidentally click. The time was near. Though the biggest motivating factor lay elsewhere. It's in something that had occurred about a month earlier. I had yet to share that little nugget with anyone else, though. This could be the key to bringing it all together. But I need to keep my head in the right place today. It's Morgana's birthday above anything else. Planning this revolution can wait another day. It couldn't! This is foreshadowing! There we go. Sorry, I had to pull up my socks. That's probably a bit too eager to get started.
Left one or right one?
Both! Actually, I'm gonna do it properly. Just give me a second.
Yeah, like, you at this point, you just do it. Like,
Yeah. I was just pulling in them a little bit, but I'm just gonna... There. I think I'm gonna change them after stream. When they start doing that, that means I've been wearing them for a little too long. I was probably a bit too eager to get started. My judgment clouded by anticipation, the very thought that I could soon be someone of real significance. And that excitement had probably leaked a bit into my conversation with Morgana. Dun dun. If only I'd understood. Had truly grasped the extent of my own capabilities. Where I should have been focusing my effort, then perhaps we could have ended up on a very different path. But it would not be until much, much later that I came to realize the error of my ways. About time you showed up. Get in here and give us a hand, would you? I was engulfed in the scent of roasting meat as soon as I stepped through the back door of the brothel. It smelled like it had even been seasoned with herbs kicking my appetite into high gear. Yeah. For the common man, culinary herbs were a delicacy. Expensive and not something you could get your hands on easily. And that went doubly so for us in the slums. This is much more elaborate than I was expecting. How'd you even get all the supplies you needed? It's mostly a mishmash of everyone's rainy day funds. Events like this are about the only way I can convince the girls to let loose. Everyone's also concerned about making sure they've always got plenty saved up. Which ain't a bad thing in itself, but they're gonna end up stressing themselves straight to the grave. I smirked. Maria's heart was always with the girls. Obviously, the party was still for Morgana, but parties were meant to be enjoyed by everyone involved, not only the star. It would have been even better if we could have given all the girls tonight off and partied till we dropped. But unfortunately, business isn't strong enough to afford that. I'd rather not deal with a bunch of blue-balled buffoons bitching at me about it earlier either. Jesus Christ. That's some alliteration. A bunch of blue-balled buffoons bitching. That's perfect. Whoever's behind these translations, salutations to you. I want to know specifically who wrote this. So all the girls who couldn't take off are getting an extra slice of meat to make up for it. You're on cutting duty. And make sure to cut them exactly the same size. Don't want anyone blowing their top about not getting their fair share. The fate of the party is in your hands. Don't fuck this up. I get the feeling I'll be there punching back no matter how precisely I cut the meat. On a somewhat different note, I'm surprised you had herbs lying around. Oh, yeah, those are... They were a gift from one of my wretches. Hello, Jaren. What's up, Jackie?
Jackie.
I can't get over that. You're as obnoxiously perky as ever, I see. That's how you're gonna greet me, you big butt!
Yes.
For a particular subset of our customer base. It's that relentless perk that keeps them perky. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment. Some girls have to pretend to be spunky airheads to keep those guys coming back, but you're natural. That's impressive as hell. It is? Whee! I got the big boss's seal of approval! I don't think you quite get it, Jaren. You know how Jaren used to work up in the city? Well, one of our old clients followed her here when she moved down here. And he's the one who gave her the herbs. Not the cheapo bottom-of-the-barrel stuff either. This is some primo shit. Nice haul, Jaren. Tee-hee-hee. You're right. You don't get this kind of aroma from a low-quality plant. Damn. He sure knows his way around stinky.
Ooh,
Strong enough, I almost wonder if people outside can smell it. I bet we'll have at least a few customers drawn in thinking they were craving pussy only to find out they were really hungry.
What now?
Someone needs to get this woman a damn filter.
I really hope Morgs likes it. I know she used to hate even the sight of meat, but it seems like she's kind of gotten over that recently-ish.
People do change over time, so maybe she'll be fine.
Maybe she has some kind of traumatic meat-related past, and she's just now overcoming it.
There's something to that effect. She's so on point. It's scary.
Hey, some help with these dishes would be real nice. Ooh, pick me! I'll do it! Alright, Jackie, see you in a bit.
And she's gone. It sure didn't take long for her to make this place her home. And she's gone. Bye. Yeet! Yeah, yeet.
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. What? Do you not want her here or something? Because personally, I'm doing everything I can to make everyone here feel at home.
No, I never said.
Why so serious? It's just a joke. I agree with you entirely. Girls like her don't belong in a whorehouse.
No, she doesn't. A while back, I had suggested Jaren look into some other line of work. Take up singing instead of prostitution. On her days off, she still went to the pub and performed, always to great acclaim. And, well, it seemed like she seriously considered that died halfway. Fucking hell. Sometimes I just start a sentence and I'm not sure whether I can finish it, you know? That was
you never
that.
know if you can finish your sentence.
No. And while it seemed like she had seriously considered my proposition, that's just 3 very long words almost in a row. A few days later, she said,
I think I'd rather stick around the brothel for a while. You and Maria treat me like family. And I want to be with my family for now, you know?
if that's what she wants, that's her choice. I have no right to force what I think is best on her.
So, question.
Yeah?
Have you decided what you're gonna give her?
I haven't the faintest idea what you're referring to.
Bullshit. I know. You know. I know you know I know.
Why does she have to be so damned astute? Or is it just that obvious? I hadn't spoken about my feelings for Morgana with anyone else, since I'd realized I had them. Not even Maria, my closest friend. But she had a way of seeing right through me. And while she often poked fun at me about the age difference, she never actually mocked me, not seriously at least. Though she did avoid bringing it up while Jaren was around out of respect for her feelings. Pretty much all the other girls seemed to pick up on it, so Jaren likely had as well. Then again, it was Jaren, so it was equally likely she had an inkling. After one particularly extensive round of teasing, Maria had gone on to say,
In the end, all that really matters is that you're happy. Sure, I'll feel bad for Jaren, but ultimately, me and you, we've been to hell and back together. If I have to pick one of you, it'll be you. And yeah, I know, cheesy as fuck, you don't have to tell me. But hey, there's still the chance Morgana will give you the most brutal rejection of all time. Hell, I'd call that one more likely than the alternative.
Ouch. That was her way of showing support.
So, what'd you get her? As your big sister, I'd be happy to check out the present before you give it to her, to make sure you don't make too big of an ass out of yourself.
Again, I'm older than you. And again, we're not related. I bought a necklace, per your suggestion. Girls appreciate that sort of thing, don't they?
Most do. Mia got a taste for knives and other such pointy things. I doubt she's much interest in those, though.
Sometimes I wonder if you're actually a girl.
Excuse you? Who's the last guy you saw with tits like these?
I love this woman. She is funny.
Excuse moi! Look at these titterloonies!
Look at this, tits.
Also, I do know some guys with good tits, so don't worry about it.
Yes.
I'm pretty damn smoking if I do say so myself. You telling me this body don't light a fire in your loins?
Not even a spark. I've grown so accustomed to seeing you over the years that you don't even register in that part of my brain.
Is that how it works? You spend so much time with someone you go numb?
Would you rather I did find you arousing?
Hell no! You so much as lay a finger on me and I'll make sure you never get it up again. Oof.
And don't bring up the subject! I'm gonna choose to believe she means I won't get up on my feet again. No. She's gonna cut your dick off.
So?
So?
Today's the day, right? You give her the present, then you finally tell her how you feel.
No! Excuse me? Why would I?
Don't be a wuss. It's about damn time you made up and told her. I think you've got a better chance than you think.
Do I need to remind you how old she is?
12, as of today.
Practically an adult. You do not know what that word means!
Maria. 12, it must be adult.
I was knee-deep in dick at that age.
Come on! You're the fucking... You're the exception! You're comparing her to you?
The longer you hold off saying something, the more difficult it becomes. Break a leg! Party's gonna be in the back, so there won't be any customers around to interfere.
Alright.
Anywho, I got decorations to put up. Let's get going, meat boy.
Grr. Would waiting until she turned 16 really be putting it off for too long? No! How would I even go about saying it, assuming I actually did? Even if your face still isn't healed in 4 years, I'll take you as my lifetime partner, Morgana. God, no, that's terrible. There has to be a better way to put it. So much for a nice, relaxing birthday party. Morgana arrived as the sun was beginning to set and our preparations neared completion. Myself, Maria, Jaren, and a handful of other girls who didn't have to work were gathered in the back room. Dishes stacked with food lined the floor, and our group sat in a circle around it, several different conversations going on at once.
I apologize for not being able to assist in any way.
Don't apologize, it's your birthday!
Sit your little bum down and let the world revolve around you for once.
If you insist.
Atta girl, hop on right down. Not the frickin' corner!
Hey Morgana, there's a space next to me. It's a much better spot than over there in the corner. You have easy access to anything you'd like to eat, though I suppose if you wanted I could get your food for you.
I'll sit next to Maria.
Yeah. She's like, don't think I didn't hear that! Piece of shit!
Hey there, Morts! How's the drink? Your head spinning yet?
It most certainly is not.
Well, let's make it spin! Let's make the whole world spin! Whee!
Wine is only to be used for nourishment. It is not meant for base recreation. You shall be smitten down from above if...
It's fine, don't worry. Even God's taking the day off to get wasted out of his mind.
How dare you disrespect the Lord like that?
Eat, drink, eat, drink, drink!
Wait, I can't!
I'm in heaven! My stomach's in heaven!
And she's dead. She's sound asleep. Girl acts like it's her birthday we're celebrating here.
What do you say? Want me to give her a good whack upside the head?
No, it's fine. Let her sleep. She looks happy. Would almost feel bad waking her.
If you say so. You're the one in charge today. So, you and Jaren get on alright?
Huh?
It looked like you were trying to keep your distance a little while back. I don't get that impression from you anymore, but if there's any friction at all, don't hesitate to let me know.
I'm getting along fine with her now. If anything does come up, I will tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad to hear it. With Jaren, it's, well, what you see is what you get. Once you get past that, there's never a dull moment with her.
Indeed. Although, it wasn't anything I did that cleared the air between us, but...
Oh?
Never mind.
Oh, hee. And this asshole thinks because he's paying me to do whatever he feels like, and I'm having to tell him to back off and just, I can't believe some of these guys. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I've got a good one too. The other day, this guy came in totally shit-faced. Wait, are you serious? Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I'd have chased the pricks off if I'd known.
Seems like anytime you get more than a couple of these girls together, conversation inevitably drifts back to work. I mean, it is their everyday life. Which,
Yeah.
of course, is the subject Morgana's least keen on. She looks like she wants to run away. Guess I've got to step in. You guys think you could maybe change
Yeah.
the subject?
It's
Yes.
just like, oh, hi Morgana. Oh,
Yeah.
how's your sex life?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, bruh, I'm 12. Like we have anything else to talk about. Making the birthday girl want to hide in a corner defeats the whole purpose, don't you think?
Why
Oh,
don't you
no,
talk
don't
about
mind
German
me.
bratwurst
It's
or
okay.
something? I
Talk,
don't know.
talk about penises all you want. I don't
Or
mind.
cucumbers.
I don't have anything I want to talk about.
At least eat something then.
I've eaten plenty, thank you. I'm quite full.
Sausage.
How about a sausage? Then how about the cookies? They're barely sweetened and dry as rocks, but they're edible.
Jacopo, you little bitch!
You
They're
got some
not dry,
stones to
they
shit talk my
dehydrated.
cookies to my face! I love them. Stop
Maria,
it, Maria!
they're
Yeah.
literally a blunt weapon.
Yes! Stop it, Maria! Stop throwing things at me! I love them. For God's sake, can you not even show a modicum of decorum for just one day? Yeah, you totally want to talk. You could try not being a massive dick for once in your life! Name one thing I've done to warrant this kind of abuse! You first. You're the one who started throwing accusations. There it is! Right on schedule, you two little lovebirds. Fight! 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 We are not lovebirds! Ugh, I don't even care anymore. You are right about one thing, though. This is Morgana's day, so let's change the subject.
Like I said, I don't have anything to talk about.
This really does look like mom and dad arguing, and then the daughter in the middle like, please stop. Sure you do. You just have to look a little harder. I'm not saying you have to reminisce for us. It can be anything. Let's see. Here's an idea. Are there any guys you've got your eyes on? Fucking hell, Maria. How unsubtle can you be? So, Morgana, do you want to fuck Jacopo? This fucking game. We can't get
how
over.
to approach this? How to be careful with?
That's him spitting out his drink.
There is.
It's gonna be. He's just gonna say like,
God, my Father in heaven.
watch me. What? Serious? Oh, I did the what again? Seriously?
You literally did. It was pitch perfect. It was pitch perfect.
I'm just too into it. I can't say what normally anymore.
Why can't you say what normally?
Why did I do that again? I wasn't even
What?
Yes, that's exactly what it sounded like.
It was 1-to-1.
Like, that wasn't even Maria's voice. She has the deeper one.
Yeah, Mina just so what? It's like, okay, that's the perfect combination of letters. It's like when you present the letters W, H, A, and T together.
Yeah.
Mina just goes,
What?
Holy shit! Who is it? Tell me, who's the lucky guy?
God.
Don't give me that look! I don't need your sympathy.
If you're gonna dream big, right?
Genuinely, I think Maria thinks that Morgana wants to do the deed with God.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Pining after the all-powerful, all-knowing God. I'm with you.
You bald-faced liar.
The grass may be a hell of a lot greener up there, but it's a bit far, don't you think? You're better off settling for the weeds down here.
Did she just imply it that I'm a weed? Don't eat the weeds.
Say, the young man over...
Wait! Stop right there! Don't say another word!
Whoopsie, me and my big mouth. I almost did your job for you.
Damn it, Maria! This is not good. Like hell I'm gonna let it spill it on a whim. I have to do something before she has another slip of the tongue. Morgana! What she was trying to say is... Yeah, when she looks at you like that, it just makes you want to run away, huh? Is that I
have to go.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Sure.
My sides aren't gonna last much longer if you keep this up.
This is no laughing matter!
Ow, what the hell? Don't throw things at me!
You did it first! Damn it all!
No, that was a good laugh. God, you're such a dork. How hard is it to just say it?
Would have been easier if you hadn't cornered me like that?
You expect me to believe you would have done it without a little nudge?
I would've... Eventually. Yeah, no. Nope.
Eventually ain't gonna cut it. Now's the right time. And don't worry. Me and the girls won't make fun of you too much for getting your rocks off to little girls.
That's not the reason I like her. Besides, I would wait at least 4 years before...
Doesn't mean you can't tell her now. I think it'd do her wonders, really. She's, well, you know...
So I think knowing someone cares about her will lighten the load a bit. I mean, obviously we care about her too, she's like family. But there's some things sisterly love just can't hold a candle to.
Mushy romance may not be my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean even I don't think it'd be nice to have something special every once in a while. When she comes back, give her the necklace and tell her how you feel. And if she turns you down, we can all have a good laugh about it.
Maria and a few other girls chuckled. My lips had twisted almost into a knot from sheer overwhelming discomfort. But at the same time, I knew she had a point. I could say how I felt now, just as easily as 4 years from now. It couldn't develop into anything for some time yet, no, but simply letting Morgana know that someone cared about her, and her specifically, could very well lighten some of the load she bore. As much as she had warmed up to us, she still very clearly kept herself walled off, and though she tried to pretend otherwise, she still did get rather gloomy whenever she passed by something reflective. But if I could convince her that her physical appearance had no bearing on my feelings, then maybe, just maybe, it could clear away some of the clouds hanging over her. Possibly even light the way to the day when I could at least see her smile. That was all the motivation I needed. I'll do it. I'll tell her. Not only for myself, but for her as well. I can do this. And now I'm making myself nervous as hell! Calm yourself, Jacopo. This is nothing. You infiltrated the Lord's Manor for crying out loud. Telling a girl how you feel is considerably less likely to kill you.
Nah, debatable.
Depends on the girl.
Yep.
Even a child could do it.
You look so tense your nerves could snap at any moment.
I am not! God damn it, please hurry up, Morgana. I want to get this over with as soon as possible. What? What the fuck? What's that?
Sounded like a scream. Trouble with the client, maybe?
No, it didn't sound like that kind of scream. Something's wrong, I can feel it in my gut. Maria, I need you to take the girls down to the cellar, now!
Alright, I'll send them down, but I'm coming with you to see what's up.
It could just be a client causing a ruckus. No! You go with the girls. I'll check it out. Now get moving.
Okay, I'm going. Wake up, Jaren! Come on!
Now! Following the first, there were several more screams intermingled with what sounded like men shouting from the guest room. Something very bad was happening out there. My sword is back at the armory. Damn it! Taking a brief detour to the kitchen to grab a knife, I then dashed through the corridor toward the source of the disturbance. Shoving my way past a several-layer thick makeshift curtain.
Oh no! Help!
Oh god. Stay back! I'm just a customer! I don't have a- oh god. What the hell was I seeing? Oh no. What was this happening? Seriously all they got? My shit's worth more than most of this garbage. Take the horse alive, you hear me? They'll probably sell for more than anything else we find. They were laying waste to the brothel. Untrained, unarmed, and unclothed. The girls and their clients alike were helpless against the slaughter being rained down upon them. Bludgeoned, mutilated, massacred. A good dozen men, feast by the look of it, had swarmed the brothel, utterly ravaging it. Blood splattered every which way, staining the colorful fabrics hanging on the walls. The stench of blood, screams of agony, cries of fear, and hoots of mad glee all blended into the sickening blur. I nearly stepped into the chaos, but stopped myself at the last second. I was furious. Of course I was. I knew those girls, and this band of barbarians was slaughtering them before my very eyes. I wanted nothing more than to charge in and rescue all of them, but I also knew damn well that me charging in there alone would accomplish nothing. God damn it! Why now? Why here? Why? And how did they get so many men in here? If there were any signs of organized movement, someone would have noticed. I would have heard about it. How did they manage to sneak past everyone we have on patrol? How's it even possible for a bunch of damn bandits to manage to organize a raid of this scale without anyone catching wind of it? Ah, damn it! There's no saving anyone in the guest room. I need to find whoever else I can and get them out for the back. As soon as I decided there was nothing I could do here, my next job was obviously to minimize any further loss of life. I knew logically it was the smart thing to do, but that knowledge didn't do anything to quell the anger boiling around inside me. And then another thought snapped to the front of my mind, rattling me further. Morgana! She said she was gonna go to the bathroom, which meant she hadn't come this way, or so I dearly hoped. But hope wasn't enough to overcome the fear that she had. I searched frantically for any sign of her, more panicked than even I realized. I knew exactly what one of these brutes would do to Morgana if they happened across her. A prostitute in decent health they would merely take captive. But seeing Morgana's face, they would assume she had a kind of disease, and they would kill her without a second thought. Morgana. Intending to take my search elsewhere, I set off, my shadow subtly darkening, but in too much of a rush to notice. Oh god, something seemed to crash into me from behind. The world flashed in and out of view. For a split second, the multicolored fabrics around me appeared in black and white. I barely held on to my consciousness. Oh shite, dudes! A few seconds later, the pain set in. Oh no. My gaze drifted downwards to the curious protrusion in my stomach, the tip of a blade sticking out of my gut. Oh no! Blood streamed along the metal surface. What? I twisted my body, distinctly aware of any minuscule movement of the blade as it slid through raw flesh back out the hole it had entered. It was almost enough to make my legs buckle. When I finally managed to turn all the way around, there stood a large man, probably grinning. He kicked me backward and then rammed his heel through the gash in my stomach. Ooh. I let out an animalistic howl. It was pain unlike any I had ever experienced before. I felt as though I had been struck by lightning. The only thing I had room for in my mind was overwhelming agony. And before long, it reached its breaking point. Damn it. God damn it. And the whole world went black. Uh-oh. Jacopo! Wake up, please. Open your eyes. I can't have you dying on me, too. I'm begging you, open your eyes. Has to be Maria, probably? Jacopo! Yeah, it was Maria. Where am I? The back room of the brothel? I'm alive? Where is she? Ugh, ow. Lie back down. Were you trying to kill yourself? You're hurt bad enough as it is. I've been bandaged up. I'm still bright red. I guess the bleeding hasn't stopped. I'm cold. I swear to God. I was sure I'd lost you. Maria, are you crying? You got a problem with that? Asshole. I'm sorry. How many years has it been since I last saw her cry? It was back when she was 12, I think. Besides us, there are 2 other girls here. No sign of Morgana or Jaren. Oh, fuck. This can't be everyone who made it, can it? I have to see. What did I just say? Lie your ass back down. You need to give it some time to heal before you move around much. Jacopo! Ignoring Maria's pleas, I stumbled my way toward the guest room, leaning against the wall for support. I had evidently lost quite a bit of blood. I was freezing cold and constantly on the edge of vomiting. My body was heavy, like someone had strapped a boulder to my back, and my vision swirled, distorting with each step I took. I knew it wasn't that long of a walk from the back to the front, but it felt like it would take me ages to get down this hall. Like I was in an endless march toward a vast, empty abyss. Fuck. I braced myself, but what I felt when I stepped into that room was a despair too deep for words. The meager scraps of strength that had carried me this far dissipated, and I slowly slid down to my knees. The door hung open, a blood-soaked curtain flapping in the wind. The deep crimson was a stark contrast against the brightly colored fabric. The girls had died in themselves. I could still remember Maria first telling me about it however many years before, her eyes alight with pride. How, when you put a whole bunch of different colors together, it made the place seem almost otherworldly. And the patrons who'd been drawn by its allure today had not found themselves in the land of milk and honey, but instead been cast into a pit of death. Several corpses lay motionless around the room, their faces twisted in agony, their eyes vacant. What the hell? Why? How could this happen? I asked, stupefied, neither expecting an answer, nor trying to place the blame on anyone's shoulders. It was an empty, meaningless lamentation, powerless as the man who had uttered it. All of us felt the same way, hopeless, helpless, horrified. And more than an hour ago, we'd been having a party, for God's sake. Fooling around like a bunch of idiots, the girls complaining about their clients. Plates of food, specially made for her birthday. Her birthday. Where's Morgana? I couldn't find her. Why not? I'm sorry. I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find her. I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell her I wasn't blaming her, but I couldn't find the words. I can't remember what happened. Did Morgana run away herself? I think she did, right?
I think she did, yeah.
Yeah. She heard whatever was going on and she just bolted. If anyone, it was myself I was disappointed in. How could I have failed to keep her safe? Why had I been unable to find her? Why was I so damn powerless? This was supposed to be a good day for her. I wanted to make Morgana's 12th birthday into a special occasion, something truly memorable. To celebrate the bright future ahead of her. And I'd failed in the worst way imaginable. What was supposed to be a celebration of life had ended in a pile of corpses, most of the surviving girls taken captive, and the brothel in shambles. And Morgana, who was all supposed to be for, was most likely dead as well. She was dead. Morgana was dead. Before I had the chance to say anything, the girl I loved was gone. All because I was weak, because I hadn't been cautious enough. Oof. Because he was an idiot. Because I was completely, utterly powerless. I mean, I don't think that's fair. I mean, I understand, but no. No, boy. And now she was gone for good, before I'd managed to make her smile even once. I guess some of this can definitely explain why he ended up in the depraved way that he did, but it's like, come on. I was gonna show her the world. How full of myself was I? I hadn't done a single damn thing for her. Physical strength was meaningless for what I wanted to achieve. What good was being number 2 in our little band of peacekeepers if I couldn't even stand up to a... thing?
Wee woo!
Thanks.
Wee woo! Wee woo! Wee woo!
I promise I'll say thanks. Ow. Okay, I saved.
Good.
Yeah. What good was being number 2 in our little band of peacekeepers if I couldn't even stand up to a pack of bandits? I didn't have any real power. I was worthless, helpless, weak. My sole job was to keep this place safe, and it was painfully clear how unsuited to the task I was. My initial fears were right. It was only the 4 of us who had made it through the assault. Maria had said that while they'd made it to the cellar safely, they were soon discovered and most of the girls taken captive, Jaren included. If only she'd quit, left the brothel, taken up singing at the pub, then she could have been spared this. Spared having to be kidnapped for a 3rd time. But because she thought of us as family, because she cared about and wanted to be with us, she was taken away. If I had power, this all could have been prevented. Not physical strength or skill with a blade, but real, meaningful power. Political influence, import. If I weren't a peasant, no one would dare stand up to me. No petty thieves would ever consider raiding my property. I could have hired guards to watch over the brothel. The only reason the Lord, that reprehensible man, was still alive was because he had real power. Enough to assure his own safety. If I had that kind of power, everyone would still be here, safe and sound. I could have made certain of that. Maria wouldn't be crying. Jaren would still be part of our family. And she, Morgana, would still be alive. She would still be by my side. That one simple thing. to keep anything like this from happening again. In short order, Gratian burst into the brothel. Seeing the carnage, he wailed in grief, which quickly transformed into fury. I watched on, only really half paying attention as he raged. He marched over and said something or another, though I couldn't say what.
Oh my god, dude, I raged.
After the fact, Maria told me that I had been in a stupor the whole time Gratian was there. He'd apparently tried to cheer me up, though soon found himself frustrated and finally disappointed in me.
Then he tried to fuck me, I said no.
I said no, and then he cried. He was like, I thought we had something special! Like that.
But you're the only pretty face left!
You're the prettiest whore here! It took 3 days for me to get back on my feet. That is surprisingly short amount of time for being stabbed in the gut. There was no sign of Morgana's body anywhere in the ruins of the brothel, which meant there was a chance, however slight, she was still alive. I clutched tight to that tiny sliver of hope, searching desperately for any sign of her. Maybe she'd realized something was wrong and gone into hiding. But no matter how many people I talked to, no one had seen anyone who matched her description. She was just gone, like a puff of smoke. Which left two possibilities. Either she'd been taken along with the other girls to be sold off, or she had been killed and her body disposed of somewhere out of sight. While the latter seems significantly more likely, deep down I still yearned for even the slightest trace of her. Wait, no. She was taken by the slave caravan, wasn't she? Was that here? Where she meets the swordsman? Right?
Yeah.
But what I can't remember is, did she escape from the brothel herself and then get taken? Or did she get taken from the brothel? That's the part that's kind of like fucking up in my brain. I can't remember. But yeah, like, I think it's around this time that she meets the swordsman on the slave caravan and then he slaughters everything.
Oh,
and she,
right.
And then she went to the little cottage where she started to live for like a few years, where Mel then finds her, and then the swordsman finds her. Her arm gets lopped off and she gets taken captive by Jacopo, basically. Maria encouraged me to let go, to move on, though I knew her well enough to know it wasn't out of a lack of compassion. The whole affair had visibly taken its toll on me. One day, about a week later, my wound still healing, I made my way through the slums. Nestled away in an alleyway stood a nondescript little shack. I knocked on the door, and a few moments later, it stood barely half an inch open, just enough for the sole resident to peer out at me, suspicion clearly visible in her eyes. But when she realized it was me, warmth filled her gaze, and she waved for me to come inside, a gesture that somehow made it feel like I was being invited into another world entirely. Beyond the door stood a noble woman who held herself with an elegance and grace unbefitting of the slums, but a darkness that felt right at home. I heard about the attack on the brothel, and that you were hurt. I'm so glad to see that you're well. You were concerned about my safety? The woman pulled back her hood, revealing her face. Though age had clearly begun taking its toll on her, there was still striking beauty to her. The kind of beauty is impossible to attain down here in the dregs of society. Her hair was a burnt brown, her skin dark, and her facial structure somewhat similar to mine. I remembered then that this wasn't the first time I had seen her, though it was fairly recently, not that many years ago, she would have me believe. Oh, this is the... Yeah. We had briefly crossed paths on the day of the Midsummer Festival. The woman I had bumped into, that was her. Of course. Show me a mother who is not always concerned about her child's safety. The woman's name was Ginevra, and she claimed to have been a maidservant for the previous lord. It was unusual enough for someone of her stature to be living in a rundown shack in the slums, but her story got even stranger. She had supposedly had intimate relations with him. She had borne his illegitimate son, and a month earlier, she had come to me and said I was that child.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the woman I'd never seen until a month
We
ago.
had that story.
Yep, we already know about this story.
Yeah.
Physical distance has no bearing on a mother's love.
If you had gone to speak with the Lord and revealed your lineage when I first came to see you, you would never have been in that kind of danger.
Ginevra spoke as though she knew exactly what had been going through my mind this past week. The very words that had dominated my thoughts as I looked out upon the wreckage. Yeah, this was what he had like waited with saying, right? If only I'd done as she said and asserted my nobility, then I wouldn't have had the power. Then I would have had the power to prevent the attack on the brothel, to protect the people I loved. If what Ginevra said was true, the Barnier family once possessed more land than even the king. That land and the family was divided up between each of their sons. The Barniers were only a few generations removed from the current royal family, which was why they controlled so much land in the first place. And that meant, though it had diluted with each successive generation, there was still royal blood in the Barnier bloodline. And a child begotten by the previous lord was more than entitled to a place among the nobility. However, realistically speaking, even if I had lent my ear to her cajolery, it wouldn't have changed anything. Or worse, I could very well no longer be in this world. I wasn't stupid. This noblewoman, she was just using me.
There's still time. Go to the Lord's manor, show him.
I'm not really your son, am I? Ginevra felt silent for a moment, observing me. I had no memories of my mother. Sure, it might be nice if she were to show back up someday, but it just wasn't likely. Her whole story was extremely contrived. The sun could decide to rise from the west one day, and there would still not be a drop of noble blood in my veins. I knew perfectly well how filthy the blood in me was. Discussions will progress much smoother if we both know what the other wants out of this arrangement. Start by telling me who you really are. Were you actually a maidservant for the previous lord?
Yes, I was.
She gave me a nod, then walked over to a grimy shelf and retrieved a ring that looked very much out of place. It was made of gold, engraved with an elaborate insignia. There wasn't a metalworker anywhere in the slums, or the city proper at that, who could craft a piece so intricate.
Look at this. It's the Barnier family crest. The previous lord gave me the ring as a gift, and I've kept it ever since, even after our relationship was discovered and I was chased out. I didn't sell it, because I knew I was with child. They will have no choice but to acknowledge you as a legitimate heir if you show them this ring.
Why did you wait so long to come find me then?
I was afraid they might kill you if I brought you in as a baby.
Why were we separated?
Misfortune. One day, bandits came and kidnapped you.
That bitch-ass cunt!
Bitch.
Presumably they were hired by the Barnier estate because they didn't want your existence coming to light. I consider it a miracle you're still alive.
I can only imagine the stern look on my face as I listen to Ginevra speak. Part of me did indeed want to take everything she said as true. Wanted to believe I was someone important. Wanted to grab hold of the fantasy that I did have noble blood in me and never let go of it. And I had not come face to face with my own powerlessness a week earlier. Perhaps I could have swallowed the delusion, used it as a stepping stone from my dream to show Morgana the world.
Did someone say stepping stone?
It would appear you've done your research. I don't have any other family, to the best of my knowledge, which does indeed make me a good candidate for you to step in and claim your stake on. If I were to guess, your child with the Lord has either passed away or never existed at all. It's probably true that you worked at Barnier's manor, and it's probably true that you had relations with the former lord. You were chased out, and now you live in poverty. You want to go back to your former, more comfortable life, and while you're at it, take vengeance on the current lord. Or perhaps you simply want the entire noble class to suffer. The specifics of your motives are irrelevant, though. Being a woman, you have no means to accomplish that yourself, so you came up with the idea of using a fake son. If your child were still alive, he would be right about my age, wouldn't he? And we look similar enough for you to convincingly claim we're related. But the biggest reason you chose me is because I've made something of a name for myself. Because I was one of the people involved in inciting the revolt 3 years ago. The perfect choice to spearhead a revolution. How dramatic! The man who set the Lord's slaves free was secretly his family. The people would eat it right up. So, how far off am I? You're sharp for a filthy peasant. It would seem I chose wisely. I was right! I was right! You can never say I'm wrong now, because I was right. She was a manipulative, conniving shyster, but her insults and Sorry. It gets out my inner Angie.
Mina getting swole.
I'm just getting angry because I hate when my. But her insults didn't bother me in the slightest. Those words made so much more sense than any mad claim that I had royal blood in me, that I was some kind of hero. Following suit, I twisted my lips into a smirk. I was a filthy peasant, and I was fine with that. All it meant was that I had to claw my way to the top. I'm in. Ginevra and I then discussed the details of her scheme, after which she gave me the Barnier's ring.
Ow.
I doubt anyone would have ever imagined it would end up in the grimy hands of a slum rat, yes?
No, my back. Oh, fuck.
Oh no. Oh no. Pets. It's okay. Pet. You can do it. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be far away, Argo, for a moment. I need to go on the bed. Yeah.
Okay. Once our discussion was done, I headed straight to the pub where the rest of the gang liked to congregate. The gang. Good at
Argo is not real. He cannot hurt you.
Far away, Argo.
He's not real. He cannot hurt you.
Should you really be on your feet so soon? I'm fine, thanks. I'm glad to hear it. I'm so sorry about what happened at the brothel. Is the gang here? Well, yes, near the back.
At times like this,
Yeah?
I like to quote Wii Sports.
Okay.
Nice cock.
Thanks. Are you sure you're okay? Oh no, it's Gratian time.
Gasp!
Do you see him?
Yes, I can read from here.
Good.
Well, look what we contracted. We're just thinking about going to whap your sorry ass back into shape.
That's so funny when you're so far away.
I ain't still moping, Arya. I get it, kid. I do. It's bollocks, but you're a man.
It's bollocks.
Instead of crying, you should be fucking.
Gratian, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I still remember when you said no. I'm still
Have we
open.
The wounds from that time are still open. Please come fill my
phone is
empty
still
heart. It's time we started ourselves a revolution. Are you just gonna stare at me or actually say something?
What
Yes?
do they do? Raise the retirement age?
Something like that. You're the one's always going about revolution this, revolution that. I think it's called being shocked to silence.
You serious about this, Jacopo? I just want to, you know.
Why is he frowning so hard?
I just had I just had some, you know, sour puss.
Am I one to joke about this sort of thing?
Yeah. No, you're not. You sure have.
Boo!
Yeah.
Just a little reminder that the cheesecake needs to be eaten pretty soon.
Okay, when I go for my toilet break, I'll get a piece. I put it back in the fridge. I hope that's okay. I would like for it to be cold.
Well, it's about damn time, if I say so myself. Like, I'm actually surprised it picks my voice up, you know? I'm actually really far away.
Yeah. And it's actually picking you up, like, over the like, you're higher than the music somehow.
How?
I don't know.
Like, I'm not even that loud. I'm just, like, speaking a little more louder than normally.
It works.
Well, it's about damn time, if you say so myself. I knew they'd come around eventually. You knew you would stay salty forever. Also, why are you standing so far away from me?
You're the one standing far away from me!
What do you mean? I'm not. It way better once we rip that fucker head off. Should cut down on the number of people turning up to Tiberi, so we'll never have to deal with anything like what happened at the brothel again.
Noise. It's good, I did good uwu. Yeah, just remember to keep it in the fridge, please, because I do want to eat it cold.
Never again, you hear me?
Indeed.
Indeed.
What do you have in mind, Jacopo? Didn't you say we need help for a noble to have a chance?
We can figure that out after we carve the Lord's skull.
Thank you, honey. Love you. Mm. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be the best plan.
What's gotten into you all? You're always going on about how you want to stage a revolution, and now that we're actually talking about it, you're pussing out?
No one's pussying out, it's just... we have a noble.
For real?
For real?
It all worked out. Why didn't you say so?
Why didn't you just say so, gee?
So who's our guy?
Me.
Is this me? I'm the noble?
Look at these smashing muscles and this dashing, flowing blonde
Look,
hair.
I am genetic freak. I must be from a noble line.
I look like a genetic freak accident. It has to be me.
Who's Ugh.
Okay, go on.
Who's the noble who agreed to give us a hand?
The former lord's illegitimate son.
His actual son? Really?
Yep.
For real? That means he could legitimately inherit the lordship. Whoa, how the hell did you get in bed with the biggest fish in the city? I sleep with him. If you're telling the truth, this is huge.
Yeah.
That don't just give us a leg to stand on, that puts us dang low on our side. How hard it be to set up a meeting with the guy? This ain't so measly uprising. If we're going through with this, I'd like to see a royal sponsor for myself.
You're looking at him.
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
I am the former lord's son. Of course they're laughing. No way, not a chance!
Seriously, kid. You need to find yourself functioning sense of humor, because that ain't funny.
I'm telling the truth. And this ring proves it. It's a nice ring and all, but how does it prove you're a Barnier? He recognizes the insignia, I think. Yep, he does.
How? This is the real deal.
It's the real deal, boys.
It's the top of a cake. I was a slave at the Lord's Manor for a while. I've seen the family crest enough to recognize it.
As I said, I'm not the kind of person to joke about this sort of thing. Well, so wait, you really... Holy shit! I can't believe it! One of us is an actual noble! I wish this seemed a little not like the rest of us, Jacopo. More uptight.
Pretty sure I said the same thing when I first met you. But you look like some rich aristocratic kid.
This is great, guys! We can actually do this! We can actually make it happen! Let's do it! Let's start a revolution! Yeah! Gratian?
No, it's nothing. You're surprised at all.
I think he's onto the whole scheme, honestly.
Noble.
Yeah.
What a freaking thought! You a noble! It's madness. How long have you known? Why didn't you tell me?
I thought we had a special kind of thing.
I thought we were friends!
I only found out recently. I'm sorry for keeping it for you. It all happened very suddenly. I was waiting for the right time to say something.
No need to apologize, kid. Just put the wind back in our sails. I don't think I'm gonna start buttering up you just because you're a bona fide stick up your ass type now, though.
Of course not. The last thing I want to see is you licking my feet.
Well, if you liked it, I...
No! Stop! Don't!
Alright, fella. We got a second novel, so let's set the date and get this ball rolling.
Yeah, bitches!
And I'm actually really busy at March 4th, so I really prefer...
I prefer if it's another day.
Oh my god, trying to schedule 100 guys to one day is really hard.
the fucking bureaucratics of that shit. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get my cheesecake, alright?
Yeah. The logistics of it is kind of fucked up.
You can, far away Argo can talk to the chat.
I don't have any wisdoms.
Then figure out some!
My only wisdom is if you're older than 30, your back is probably fucked. Because mine right the hell is. Oh. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Welcome to Argo is in Pain stream. Life is pain, Peko. I'm trying so hard to get to the meme gacha. I'm almost there. Okay. Meme gacha. There we go.
タピオカパンケーキフレンチトーストクレープチーズハットグ。
Oh. Okay. Tapioca pancake.
Cheesecake! Are you city up Argo again? You city up Argo again?
Yeah.
Nice. Alright. Hello, welcome back. Momo made us some raspberry cheesecake.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice of them.
Let's try. I should have taken a small spoon. Oh well. Oh, we're doing it with the big spoon. Oh, this should do be good. Yep. Yep. That's accepted. Okay. Let me try to read for the most part without eating too much. What had once been nothing more than a pipe dream was, against all odds, soon to be a reality. Everyone wanted the Lord. Everyone wanted the Lord removed from power. They were angry and frustrated, and on several occasions had even seriously considered resorting to another revolt to make it happen. But no one had been able to turn those emotions into actions, because they all knew a revolt was destined to be quashed before it made any difference. There was no hope to be found down that path. But an actual revolution, that was another story. Especially with someone poised to take the Lord's place on their side. They had a fighting chance and they had no reason not to take it. As the fire in their eyes swelled into a blaze, mine seemed to sputter out, leaving behind a withered husk. I felt as though I was sitting in a theater, watching on as the story unfolded before me. No, that didn't quite capture how I felt. I wasn't even watching it with my own eyes, merely listening quietly as someone recounted for me their heroic deeds. The fact that I was an indispensable part of this operation still hadn't fully sunk in. All I knew was that I wasn't completely powerless anymore. While fiery passion and hope for the future filled Gratian and the rest of the gang, a dark, poisonous revulsion for God and fate streamed to fill the hole left in me by the attack on the brothel. Preparations proceeded smoothly, with Ginevra providing inside information and guidance, as I'd expected. There were a not significant number of nobles dissatisfied with the way Bonnier rolled, and they were constantly looking for a way to eradicate the cloud of pestilence hanging over the land. However, the Lord had eyes everywhere within the upper circles, and he was especially mindful of who associated with whom and how often. Any signs of opposition were swiftly dealt with before they had a chance to pose any threat. So the nobility needed an outsider, someone the Lord wasn't on the lookout for, to step in and assert power. He needed to step in and assert his dominance. Num num num. Ginevra arranged for several guards and attendants within the Lord's manor to betray him on the day of the revolution. They would open the doors for us from the inside and we would storm the manor. Structurally, the plan was similar to the slave revolt, the two major differences being my role and the Lord's death being our primary goal.
It is my little role.
Yeah. As the day drew nearer, it was all anyone in the slum seemed to be talking about. Is that wise? Hey guys! Can't wait for the revolution!
Yo, can't well to kill the Lord.
Though we did our best to encourage everyone to stay quiet so as to not alert the Lord, it was impossible to keep the excitement contained. Shh. And it wasn't long before word reached Maria's ears. She approached me, pale as a ghost, and attempted to talk me out of it. Haven't you had enough danger for one life?
Nope.
Forget about all this revolution stuff. We can build
Nope.
up a new brothel and just lay low for the rest of our days. Does that really sound so bad? He's the only friend I've got left, Jacopo. She was practically begging, which she almost never did. While I sympathized with her, Maria's desperation did nothing to try my resolve. And that's why she hates him so much in the main story. Yeah, I can see how this, like, swung the way it did. He's like, fuck that guy. I hate him. And before long, the day was finally upon us. Okay. It's time. Let's go. Hear me, my fellow citizens, who live in suffering at the hands of your supposed lord. Within me flows the blood of the previous lord. I am the rightful heir. Behold the Barnier's golden ring, proof that I am of noble birth. Victims of this terrible tyrant, the time has come to start anew, and I shall be the one to lead you down that path. The poor, the hungry, the deprived. All of you stand with me. Let's go, boys! Before we commenced our strike at the Lord's Manor, I gave a little speech in the city square. Not because we actually needed them to take up arms and fight with us, but because we needed to make a public proclamation of our position before overthrowing the Lord. They needed to know we were not merely opponents of the Lord, but proponents of the common man. That we had a legitimate cause and a legitimate claim to power. If we were to leave them in the dark, it would only sow confusion and unrest when the word of the Lord's death came out. They had to see us as their liberators, not a greater evil swooping in to squash a lesser one.
You know what this reminds me of? This castle thingy?
Yeah.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Do elderberries smell bad? I don't actually know.
I don't
Sound
know.
off
That's
in
what
the
your father
comments!
smelled like.
The Lord had been squeezing everything he could out of them for years, sucking them dry, so I didn't expect anyone to actually have the willpower to join us. But the important thing
Also,
was that they knew who I
Mina,
was. Yeah?
Mina,
Yeah?
also, do you actually understand what this insult insinuates?
That a guy fucked a hamster, yeah.
No. Your mother was a hamster. Hamsters are prolific breeders, right? So they fuck a lot.
Okay.
So mother was a whore, and father smelled of elderberries, and elderberries were used to make wine. So it indicates that your mother is a whore, and father is a drunk.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
I was just like, okay, bestiality, let's go. I was like, I didn't take that metaphor any further. Because I'm stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, that actually has a purpose, you know, it's actually loose.
Yep, but I had underestimated them. A slow trickle of people stood to join us, and by the time we were at the city's edge, we had accumulated dozens of additional men, transforming our little uprising into something of a much greater scale. The people had been waiting, day in and day out, for someone to take up their banner and lead the way. It didn't matter that the one holding the banner did so under false pretenses. They just needed someone, anyone. No, we're under attack!
God damn it, guys, man, we were in the middle of eating.
Yeah.
I was not prepared.
I was not prepared, it was
my
my
lunch
lunch break. We did it again! One joke. The one joke is that me and Argo have a telepathic connection. I can't believe this.
I quit. I quit.
Yeah! Get him!
Do not pillage me.
With the added support, our forces rendered the manor's defenses practically useless. Hell yeah! I love peace take. Townsfolk flooded the property, overwhelming and even fully armored soldiers. Farmers turned the tools of their trade into deadly weapons, plunging all manner of spiked implements into guards' necks. It didn't take long for the pungent stench of blood to fill the air. Panicked servants scrambled away from the chaos as quickly as they could manage. And I made my way through the corridors of the great hall, where the Lord presumably waited, patient at my side.
We're here to relieve you of your head, Lord. Oh, shit. Have these subjects removed from my property immediately. What am I looking at? Oh,
Yes,
you.
my lord!
Yeah. What's your name, guardsman?
I guess I shouldn't be surprised that defenses are heaviest here. Watch yourself, Gratian!
You can shove that concern right back when it come from, kid. I ain't about to let a bunch of mooks do me in. No numbers of those fancy little fuckers is enough to take me down.
Is there any situation capable of tempering that big mouth of yours? You can handle all the guards then. I'll take care of the Lord.
You wanna take the prize all for yourself, eh, kid? I might tell you to piss off.
Pick off.
Jacopo?
That's you.
No, Jacopo?
Hi. Yeah.
Do you see this towel?
Yeah.
Look at the circular freaking water stain on it.
What about it?
It looks like somebody pissed on it.
It's fun.
I'll give you this one.
Hell yeah.
It's what the people want besides.
Thank you for your understanding.
But remember, if you screw this pooch, I'll make sure you're laughingstock for the whole city.
Don't worry, I will come back with his head. The fact that Barnier was still here suggested he knew he had nowhere safer to flee to. Unlike the slave revolt 3 years prior, we were entirely on the offensive this time. He didn't appear particularly perturbed about his predicament, though he had little doubt he would make it through the day safely. I knew Barnier was skilled with the sword, and despite all Gratian's talk, the guards he kept by his side were hardly going to be third-rate. They would be the best of the best. Praying Gratian would be able to hold them off long enough, I weaved my way through the wall of armed men, marching straight for Lord Barnier. He slowly... Jesus. I'm eating my cheesecake and it's lovely. He slowly drew his sword, readying himself for combat.
Well, imagine that. It's you again.
It do be me again. Hello.
Oh my god, we're going to hyperspace. Look at the background. Oh boy. Some sort of had died off in a hole somewhere.
Hate to disappoint you, but staying alive is one of my few talents.
Let's see then. How fitting for a filthy maggot.
Well, I hope you're ready to be devoured by that very maggot. Oh, nice!
Hoppacha! Who this? You've seen your tongue has gotten rather sharp since we last met. I didn't remind you how this played out 3 years ago, do I?
He's had 3 years to practice. Remember that part.
Anyway, you would never get anywhere near my head.
I think you forget one thing, Lord. I am one stubborn bitch. Ah!
I will, however, give you a good reminder of precisely how feeble and worthless you slumsterers are. Within me flows the blood of the royal family, the direct descendants of the god himself, how your blood is made from the refuse of the earth. You're no more the same species as a worm is a wolf. Your very being in my presence is a slight of the highest order. I think you'll find... What are you eating there? It's no time! We're fighting!
This cheesecake's really good, bro! I think you'll find our blood is much more similar than you think. When I take that ugly head off your shoulders, we can both get a good look at how equally filthy your blood is to mine. I'm not the boy I was 3 years ago. I'll drag you down from your throne on high and show you for the dregs of the earth you really are. No, it's you.
You would dare insult me, Kerr?
Oh yeah. We traded strikes, going on offense and defense in roughly equal parts. Barnier was quick on his feet and quicker with his blade. When I attacked, he swayed effortlessly out of its path, like a stalk of wheat in the wind. And when he attacked, he was like a typhoon. He had a prowess that could never be overcome with brute strength, however. I had not spent the last 3 years idle. I should have been sitting on my ass. Well, I could hardly imitate the refined swordsmanship of a trained nobleman. I had a much better grasp on how and when to most effectively put my weight into a swing, how to maintain the ideal amount of distance between us. And there was one other key difference. I had no intention of running. Either I would take off his head, or he would take off mine.
Jesus
I
Christ.
would end up a bloody heap on the floor. I'm sorry! I'm trying to get my...
Take it out.
Okay. Fine. Fine. I'm going. Fine! Fine!
Go.
I'm going!
Go!
Me and Bob are going!
You and Boob?
Yes!
What about the other?
No!
Why did you get Boob with you too?
I need moral support in these difficult times! Of having to
pressing
haul
X.
ass to the kitchen!
Whole ass? I like whole ass. Is it non-GMO?
No. There was no other way this battle could end.
Think about what you're doing, Slam Rat.
Oh, he brings that out now? Really?
About who you're pointing that blade at.
Yeah, literally Satan. Also, if he's starting to do this, you know that... If he's starting to do this, you know he's scared for his life.
An attack on me, an attack on God. It's an act of unspeakable sacrilege.
Ha! Little late to take the moral high ground. You that afraid of dying? Then put your tail between your legs and start running.
You insolent. You'll pay for your insolence.
You pay for your insurance.
I am the rightful heir of the Barnier family. It's literally in my name. The blood of the kings of old flows in my veins.
Come on. Argo!
I am the ultimate ruler of this land and my people. And who the fuck is Argo? What was this voice? I would never condescend to turn my back. The worthless rat.
Well, don't say I didn't give you a choice. That just means we'll keep on doing this until one of us is dead. Every swing, every step, every slight shift of balance had a little more weight than the last. But unlike last time, with the pressure had only served to light a fire under me. It was now building up inside me, growing, taking form. I could now perfectly trace the path of his blade, dancing through the air. Back then, the only advantage I had over Barnier was the physical strength and pluck. But things were very different now. He was agile, but I could keep up with him. No, I was beginning to overtake him. Oh. Yeah!
Gah!
Allow me to borrow your words, if you would. Perhaps you should save the snide yapping for when you have the skill to back it up.
Don't get cookie, you insignificant rat. You treacherous car.
Ugh! The Lord swung down at me with all his strength, but I managed to parry the strike with little trouble. In that moment, I had undeniable power. Power. That's right. I wasn't powerless, and I could never let myself be powerless again. Ever. And if I couldn't manage that, then I deserved to rot here as the weak, worthless man I was. I had the chance here now to take out not only the Lord, but the me of old as well. A helpless, impotent boy who couldn't even protect the ones he loved. That's exactly what I'll do. To show you that I'm not who I used to be. That I'm not that sniveling little boy from 3 years ago. Oh!
Gah!
Before long, Barnier was coming up against the far wall.
You impudent worm.
Stop this worm hate. Come on. We were both breathing hard, dripping with sweat. The air seemed to waver like there was a fire burning between us. A fire fueled by our own souls. And that heat extended to the entire hall, in staunch defiance of the cold winter sitting beyond the walls.
When it gets so steamy.
Perhaps the room had transformed into one of the halls of hell itself. Where's your god now, huh?
Yeah.
Nya! It's time to end this. Your time on this earth has come to an end, Barnier. I readjusted my grip on my sword, repositioned my feet on the hard floor, lighting everything up for my final strike, and then threw a little extra fuel on the fire, before breaking into a dash. However... Ooh. Wait! Ugh. Wait! What?
Oh.
The last person I expected to see stood there between me and the Lord, bringing me to an emergency stop just a moment before it would have taken off his head. Jaren? Because I'd been running at full speed, I staggered, almost tripping before catching my balance. She reached out, placing her hands on my shoulder, pleading at me with eyes the color of early spring leaves. I could see myself aghast, reflected in those eyes. I shouldn't have stopped. I should have hesitated, for any reason. I should have knocked Jaren to the side and taken off Barnier's head. But a torrent of questions rained down on me, entangling me from head to toe like a spider's web. Why? How? What was Jaren doing here? Why did she ask me to stop? Why was she standing between me and Barnier? No. The answer hit me like a bolt of lightning. Only 4 people had survived the raid on the brothel. But we prepared a safe room on the ground in case of emergency, and the stairs down there were hidden beneath the 4 floorboards. Yet Maria had said that they were found quickly, and most of the girls taken captive. You didn't! The attack had been well organized and large scale. Could the aroma of the herbs, which was strong enough to be smelled outside, have been some kind of signal? How could you? How could you betray us? What came out of my mouth was not words, though, but pained, visceral wails. Oh no! But overpowering everything else I felt was paralyzing shock. Yeah, I figured he was gonna do that. Do you think that he was the one who gave her the herbs, too? The blade sticking out of Jaren's chest pierced my breast. Our blood flowed down the opposite ends of the silver edge, melting into a single stream. I completely lost my sense of what was happening, left only with a crushing bewilderment. Oh no. Barnier let out a deep, bellowing laugh from behind Jaren. The sound resonated through the blade in his hand. I could literally feel him mocking me from inside my body. Why? How could you do that, Jaren? No. How could you, Barnier? Jaren had double-crossed us. As much as I didn't want to believe it, I no longer had much of a choice. She had claimed she thought of us like family, when in reality she was colluding with the Lord. She was the one who had brought ruin upon the brothel. I couldn't reconcile what I saw with what I thought I knew. I couldn't forgive that kind of betrayal, and I couldn't even begin to comprehend Barnier's actions. How can you hide behind her when she stood up for you? How can you so readily cast her aside? She saved your life. How could you do this to her? He's literally Satan.
Cackling.
Cackling. What are you laughing at?
Look at the girl, look at her face.
What was Jaren? How could you possibly smile about any of this? What was going through her mind? Yeah, things are a little bit fucked up. Had she gone mad? I'd never seen her like... Yes, I had. I knew that smile. All too well. When the realization struck, an almost painful chill crawled up my spine. Jaren was always smiling. She could break the ice with anyone in no time. She brought laughter wherever she went. She was endlessly cheerful and sincere to a fault. Flashes of our time together rushed through my mind. She was...
Presumably you're thinking the girl gone mad, but that isn't quite right. No. He's been mad all along.
What?
Could anyone in their right mind keep smiling after seeing their parents murdered and being sold off? Would anyone in their right mind genuinely believe they don't have a sorrow in the world? Could anyone in their right mind be smiling with a sword sticking out of their chest?
I can't...
The girl's immalleable mirth is but a different shade of madness. If she weren't mad, she wouldn't be smiling. Saren lacks the capacity to comprehend negative emotions.
That can't be. She's compassionate, empathetic. There's no way she doesn't understand those emotions.
It's called good old-fashioned hard work. She pretends to show compassion, despite the fact that others' pain is incomprehensible to her.
Oh, I refuse.
You can tell me there haven't been moments when you've seen the Sims interact.
In one of our conversations, I had asked Jaren, have you never felt like you got the short end of the stick? To which she had responded, I don't even know what the stick looks like, but never mind which end is the short one. While I had assumed she'd either moved on or her threshold for happiness was on the low side, the scale she waited on was outright broken.
Wee woo! Wee woo! Wee woo! Wee woo!
Thanks. Jesus Christ. That's gonna throw me out of my seat. Thanks. I appreciate
To
it.
tell you the truth, I'm rather fond of the girl. After all, I'm a madman myself.
I wanted to shut out his words. To act like it was all crazy blather, like I didn't see any truth in it. But all the proof I needed was staring right at me. Jaren was smiling, as bright and genuine as ever. The same smile she always showed us. Its blood streamed down the blade in my chest. I still couldn't believe it. I couldn't accept that she had chosen this man over us. You said you thought of us like family, Jaren. What happened to that? What happened to all our time together? You'd throw it all away for him?
Jackie, remember what I said?
Excuse me?
That I had my eye on someone.
And?
I love you, Jackie. And everyone else at the brothel. But there's someone I love even more. You know, I'm not the cleverest girl. I can only see what's right in front of me.
Ah, how impossibly idiotic could I be? She never had an eye for me. Her heart had always belonged to Barnier. Oh man, so the person she described was him. I think she's got him all wrong, but it's fine. I was being presumptuous when I assumed she was talking about me at the festival. Why him, though? Why this man of all people? I about fell to my knees, but I managed to hold my balance long enough to stagger back. When the tip of Barnier's blade slipped away from my chest, the blood it had been holding in seems to rush out all at once. And with it went everything I was feeling. Mahaha, mahaha, maha, mahaha,
Mwahahaha.
mahaha, mahaha.
Some revolution this turned out to be, rat.
Isn't it crazy that I kind of called this? I'm kind of going nuts over it. I said it as a joke.
I mean, honestly, you have a new character that was not in
No, but it wasn't just that there was a new character introduced. It was the fact that they very deliberately show her reacting to the existence of that room.
Yes,
in
I
the
know,
cellar.
because it was there,
Like,
and
that
it's
just-
also very prominent because she's
Yeah.
new too.
Yeah, that just sent all of the alarms in my brain. I was like, she's gonna use that. Like, for me, I just thought she was that stupid, and she was just gonna tell the Lord as on accident. That was what I thought, you know. But yeah.
うちうちうちだよ狼
Okay, I'll stop sitting like a
I
Kermit.
let you
バンミョン
know
Thanks for the
something.
meme.
バンミョンみんな元気にしてたかな今日は音ゲーやってくよなんかリズムがすごいよねこれで音を刻んでく
Thank you. Did you read the line? You can read the line. Sorry. I go?
I read it already.
Okay.
I think it was my palm from the very beginning. An informant seemed to keep me appraised of anything that might spark opposition.
Oh, she was the eyes, huh?
She was shit at it, now look where we ended up.
Yeah.
If someone was amassing wealth illegitimately, I have them killed or forced to surrender all their assets to me. If someone says something disagreeable about me, I have them hanged. That scheming wench. Ginevra, was it? He's probably at the bottom of the river by now. But it would seem I failed to keep everything under control, seeing as you're still breathing and dragged as a pack of mindless peasants around with you. It's only a minor inconvenience, though. All I have to do is take off your head. And then, without the reader, they regress back into ignorant swine they are. Next time we put this ridiculous revolution to rest.
Barnier shifted backward slightly, making to pull the sword from Jaren's chest. Oh, she moaned, the sound a mixture of agony and ecstasy. I thought I could hear the flesh ripping as the blade passed through it. I should have been readying myself to fight again, to brandish my sword and take this bastard's head, but I couldn't move an inch. Everything seemed to grow distant. My spirit was on the verge of collapse. The fire that had blazed within me had been snuffed out in an instant. Countless memories crumbled before my eyes. The word death flashed through my mind. But it brought
Dead.
with it no fear. Only vast hopelessness. Don't you? But as the last of my real friend slipped from my grasp, I heard a voice. Remember what I said?
What?
That I want to be together with you forever. Holy shit! She's nuts! Oh god.
Write your title. What do you think you're doing? Let go of the sword, sir.
Lucidity came rushing back to me, and a split second later I understood what she meant, what she wanted. I didn't give myself a chance to consider where that road might lead, if I wanted to walk down it, if I would come to regret the decision, or if it was the right thing to do. There was no time to think, only act.
When your sword is stuck in a bitch.
Yeah. I couldn't let this opportunity go, so I shut everything out. My mind, my looming conscience, my sense of right and wrong, my heart. I shoved aside every possible distraction, rekindled the near extinguished fire of my rage, let out a visceral howl. Roar! And swung. I could feel the impact in my arms as the blade tore through flesh and bone. Jaren's lifeless body dropped to the floor with a thud. And the tip of my blade ripped a gash in Barnier's throat. A geyser of blood erupted from his neck. He bent over, writhing in agony, and staggered back a few steps before his legs gave out and he dropped to his knees. His eyes were opened wider than I thought possible, and he brought both hands up to his throat to stem the flow of blood. But it did little to help, the crimson stream seeping through the gaps in his fingers. With each beat of his heart, the flow surged, sending sprays of lifeblood.
Impossible! Bacana!
You did not account for the fact that she was that crazy, did you?
Don't put your sword in crazy, Barnier.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but to me this is karma. I was right. Noble blood and peasant blood all looked the same. Grunting and groaning, Barnier pawed at the floor, evidently convinced he could scamper off and escape somehow. He left behind a trail of blood as he crawled. It was by all rights over. However, there was still one last thing to take care of. I marched over to the Lord and placed my foot on his back, slamming him down into the ground. I'm not leaving without your head, and I owe it to Jaren to reunite you.
Wait, if you kill the neighboring counts, I should intervene before you even realize what's happening.
You do realize they all hate you, right?
Fuck! Put the sword down, and I spare you.
You'll spare me? You're in no position to be sparing anyone. You're either a fool or a hopeless optimist. You're not a lord anymore. You have no power. You're just a sick worm. I can tell that he's been broken, Jacopo. And the counts? They won't be an issue.
The cunts.
I'll be taking over for you after all.
Is that so? And how are you planning to do that? You're a peasant.
She never entrusted me with a ring that bears the Barnier family crest. I'll use that to make myself out to be the successor to the royal family.
And what will you do once you fake your nobility? You have no experience, not the faintest idea how to be a lord.
I'm sure I'll govern better than you ever did. It's like implying that you need any skills to do what the fuck the Lord was doing. He didn't do shit!
You're...
He just took people's shit and pretended like that was somehow cool. Like, yeah. I'm so cool. Bitch. That's me, sorry.
Hmm?
Ooh, wrong one. Oh, wait, no. Oh.
What are you doing?
Accidentally minimized my thingy.
You're out of your mind. This is like you couldn't govern an empty plot of land.
Not that being a noble makes one any more qualified, as you've more than clearly demonstrated. I'll take your seat, and then I'll take the world.
Ludicrous! Think very hard about this boy. Killing me will be a mistake you can never fix. But the sword...
Does death frighten you so much you would deign to beg for your life, Lord? Like I said before we began, though. The only way this ends is with one of us dead. I pressed my sword against Barnier's nape, then leaned into it hard. The blade sank into his flesh, the gash spreading like a crack in glass. That's what I imagine that sounds like. Screams of agony echoed through the hall. All the blood in his body seemed to be trying to escape through the gaping hole, creating an ever-growing pool of red around us. Argo.
Before long, you two will be driven to madness.
Excuse me?
By the time you figured out what it means to be Lord, you won't be that kind of friend of the people anymore. Living this life, having no one you can trust, it'll eat away at you, and then you'll be your own executioner.
Enough!
And be waiting for you. Down in hell!
And there it is. That's his head.
Oh shit, I got kinda lighter.
Here. every guard and every rebel. I have here the Lord's head, taken by my own hands. You have no reason to fight any longer. Put down your arms, all of you, and cease this meaningless battle. Our revolution has come to pass. Let's go. In less than a day's time, the Lord's Manor had fallen. And by the time it was all over, it felt almost underwhelming how completely and utterly we had conquered them. Men cheered and shouted in celebration. Others borrowed suits of armor and pretended to be knights. A fire of a different color filled the manor's walls. They believed that with the Lord's death, everything would suddenly be better for everyone. That nobody would have to suffer anymore. That they would all be happy and live perfectly fulfilling lives. They had no logical reason to believe as such, yet no one seemed to doubt it in the slightest. Everyone seemed to have forgotten that enacting change required work, and there was still much of that to be done. The entire rest of the day, the men partied and celebrated, paying no heed to the corpses strewn about the property. Even the injured joined in. Nothing could stand in the way of their merrymaking. They raised goblets to my great accomplishments, and I smiled along, though their fiery passion could not penetrate the cold bubble that had formed around me. The only real fervor I had felt all day was while I crossed swords with Barnier. No, my head was surprisingly clear. Perhaps clear wasn't quite right. It was stagnant. I felt as though I were suspended in a dark sludge. Barnier's dying words hovered around me. By the time I figured out what it meant to be a lord, I wouldn't be the kind-hearted friend of the people anymore, he'd said. That I would have no one to trust. That it would eat away at me, drive me mad. And that I would be my own executioner. Again and again, I tried to tell myself that I wasn't like him, that I wouldn't end up like him. But his voice, his curse, refused to leave me. Images of his decapitated head flashed through my mind. I couldn't shake the feeling that one day, that would eventually be my head. Oh.
Shit, that was my best shirt.
That was his only shirt.
That's why it's best.
Hello.
But there you are, kid. Been wondering when you run off to.
Oh, Grayshan.
How goes it? That sure ain't the face of a man who just pulled off a goddamn revolution. Your wound hurting? I got something that can make a pain go away if you want some. There you go. Here she is. Take one of these leaves and grind it up on the back of your mouth. You should start tingling right at the back of your head in no time, and then the pain's gone like it was never there. Some pretty great shit. I don't mind getting a little loopy for a bit anyway. But after all that, it ain't like gonna need to think straight for a while. So what did it say? Take a few?
I think I'll pass. It does hurt, but I can handle it.
Why a long face? You're a hero now. People are gonna be looking up to you. And that ain't a great look. What's with the big rock? I don't remember seeing this here before.
Please don't touch it. It's Jaren's gravestone. Aww.
So that's what got you down in the dumps, huh? I mean, I get it. Sure as hell didn't see that one coming either.
You never use your head, bro!
All because she lost her head, that's funny. Think about those shockers, sweet little thing, her mind in bed with the Lord. Women can be fucking scary creatures at times.
You have no right to talk shit about women when you are the way you are. He is the last person that has any right to call people scary.
Somebody hold Mina! Somebody hold Mina!
I'm gonna fucking fight this bitch.
No, stay! I don't even want to think about what kind of shit she was scheming when she got all chummy with us.
There was no mask, no facade, no scheming. She was always just being herself.
Never mind, kid. She played us for months, not the tiniest hit. That ain't a facade, I know what is.
She never believed herself to be lying to us. Assuming Jaren genuinely didn't grasp the concept of sadness or fear, that she was incapable of experiencing negative emotions, Jesus Christ. then it
She must
does
have been
kind of
corporate
add up.
manager.
She loved the Lord, while also enjoying her time with us. To her, they weren't mutually exclusive. To her, feeling both was not wrong.
It looks like you're a lot better at arithmetic than me, because they don't come close to adding up in my head.
Yeah!
Maybe you just don't want to accept that it was all a big fat lie.
I mean, you weren't there when she died.
You weren't there!
You just don't get it, Gratian, okay?
You
Perhaps.
don't get it.
I'm not Jaren, and I don't know what she had with the Lord, so all I can do is speculate. And perhaps I do merely want to believe that she was part of the family. Gratian, could I ask you to keep this from Maria and the other girls?
You sure?
Regardless of what Jaren's actual feelings were, I don't see any reason to sully their memory of her.
Fair enough, I guess. Not like the dead can make their own case, so at least we can do it for the ones they left behind.
Yeah.
It's not taint their memory. Unless someone knows how to bring him back, that is.
Indeed.
Should everything good, kid?
What are you concerned about? Yeah.
I mean, it's yours now. When you leave, you'll be staying here. I just want to make sure you're already up for it. If you want, I could take your place.
Pardon?
If you're taking being in charge would be too much to handle. Like, can't you take it off your shoulders? Hell, we both know I'm more of a fighter than you. Could take Barnier out without him getting so much as a scratch in on me. What do you say? I'll do it.
Don't be stupid. The whole city would be savages by year's end if you were in charge.
Hey, just offering your way out, kid. Jesus Christ.
It's my burden to bear, and I have no intention of passing it off. I'll have myself back in order by tomorrow.
If you say so. But don't forget, yeah, it's for the long haul.
Don't worry, I can handle it.
So, do you have any specific plans moving forward? The woman you were conspiring? Ginevra, was it? They offed her, didn't they?
She was hardly the only noble hoping to see Barnier overthrown. We'll have to start by building up a solid foundation of some supporters among the nobility.
Hmm. Do we really need the dick squad on our side, though? Maybe we just cut ourselves off from all that crap and start our own country. A place just for us. No royalty or nobility to rob us blind. Just our city.
That would be ideal, but unfortunately, it isn't quite so simple. We can't just overthrow the Lord, take over the city, and build a big wall around the borders. Without a clear, legitimate transfer of power, the neighboring counts will undoubtedly intervene.
So we fight back. What's the problem?
Our little band of peasants was only able to take down the Lord because we had the element of surprise. But what happens when a trained, organized army marches on our borders? You don't need me to answer that for you.
This was kind of massive bitch, huh? It's a hell of a lot better than having old pioneering power, I guess. You change the things for the better though, won't ya?
You have my word.
Great. So, Jacopo? We'll be parting ways here soon and all, but I want you to know I never forget this day. We crushed the gates of hell together and made the devils our bitch. It doesn't matter how far apart we are, nothing will change what we went through. Let's make the city the best goddamn city around. You from the top, me from the bottom.
Yes, let's. It's a great comfort to know I have you down there. I have a good deal of trust in you.
I won't disappoint you, kid. Don't you ever hesitate to give me a shout if you need something. In the first met, I kind of wanted to throw you off a cliff, and you still rub me the wrong way sometimes. And I know I say sometimes, but I basically just mean all the time. I also consider you all have a partner. And I mean that. We just got our lives for each other. Brothers in arms.
Oi. Thank you. I too consider you a good comrade. You and the rest of the gang.
Yeah, I was beginning to think you'd never come on out and say it. Now remember, kid, don't you let us down with this, or you'll be hearing from us, capiche? I know we can do it.
I won't let you down. What? It'll all go fine. I have allies, friends I can count on. With their help, I can change things for the better. I can believe in myself. I can do this. I have no reason to think otherwise. This fluttering in my stomach is nothing to be concerned about. But Mohi's playing Guilty Gear Strive, now that's something to be concerned about.
Really?
Yeah, it popped up on my screen.
No.
When that fated night came to an end, the vast bright blue sky of the morning greeted me. I looked up at that sky, standing in a manner that still reeked of blood, and Morgana filled my thoughts. If she were here now, what would she say to me? Congratulations? It was so unlikely I let out a little laugh. She would undoubtedly criticize me for seizing power through such violent means. Her lips would twist into a scowl, and she would damn me to hell for the 1000th time. She would tell me what I had done was extremely foolish, but perhaps she'd also express some concern about my injuries. That was all in my own imagination, though. She would never be at my side again. She would never look up at the same- we would never look up at the same sky again. I would never hear her sing again. My old life was gone, a relic of the past. I would never be the same again, not without the girl I loved being part of it. Dun, 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 dun.
Before it all.
Interlude.
Interlude. That's very rude of this interlude.
Indeed. Recollections of an outlaw. You're in the mood for something juicy, you say? Hate to break it to you, chum, but I ain't made of dough. I'd like a nice slab of meat as much as the next bloke, but I'm barely making do as is. Well, all are, in case you hadn't noticed. We all are, in case you hadn't noticed. What, you're not hungry? You just want a juicy story to go with your drink? Then why didn't you just say that to begin with? Give me a sec. I think I got one you'll like. A few months back, me and a bunch of other jokes went out on a raid. This puny little village. They didn't do much trade, just living off what they could grow, so no one figured we'd make out with much. Grab a little grub, plow some of the girls, that was the best anyone was hoping for. Business as usual, we killed the guys, had some fun with the girls, then killed them too. Nothing too interesting, nothing real exciting up to that point. But that changed when I busted into this one house. There's a man, a woman, and a little girl maybe 5 years old. No siblings, just a girl. Real small family for a village like that. It comes at me to protect the girl, then Ma tries to block my way. No surprise there, I killed them both. Couple of unarmed farmers, easy as snapping a baby's neck. Oh, this is Jaren's backstory, isn't it? That left the kid. It wasn't like she could do nothing, so I didn't have to kill her, but you know how the stupid things get, crying like it's the end of the bloody world. So I figure I'll run her through before she starts howling on me, right? Look at this. The kid smiled at me and said, "Where are you from, mister?" Couldn't believe me ears. Girl, your parents were just killed by me, and I'm coming to kill you next? How the hell are you smiling? How the hell are those the first words out of your tiny little mouth? Creeped me out, truth be told. So much I lost all interest in killing her. So I dug around for anything worth taking and then went on my way. With this damn kid. I tried to leave and guess what? She fucking follows me! Doesn't want revenge or nothing, just smiling like a fool. I'm a patient bloke, but this was beyond the pale. I yelled at the stupid thing. What the hell are you following me? Piss off! She gives me this confused look and says, I'm bored. Everyone else stopped moving, so I have nothing else to do. But you're still moving, mister. Me damn head was spinning. She's maybe 5, yeah? I could understand her being a little stupid, but she should have known right from wrong enough to know to be scared of me. You'd have to be out of your mind to come trotting after the bastard who just off your parents. I'm thinking, I can't do it, but my brain is reading it in the most British accent ever.
Wow, because
But
you're British, Mina.
No, this guy's British though, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what her problem was. She wasn't right in the head. Tried to get her to piss off, but she wasn't hearing it. The other guys started talking. Maybe we should just neck her, right? And one guy says with a big smile, "What say we take bets on what it'd take to make the kitty cry?" So we did just that. We started placing bets. Give her a good yell and she'll cry. Knock her around some, that'll do it. I say yank out a 2 for 2. We go for nails 1 by 1. Finally. Plow her till she breaks. We went round and did everything we could think of, our absolute worst. Not like we ever pretended to be good people, but it ain't every day you see a bunch of grown men taking turns knocking the hell out of a 5-year-old girl. And hell, that by itself's a good drinking story if I ever heard one. But it keeps going. She never cried, no matter what we did. Not a once. She would groan and twist her face when we hit her, so she did feel pain. But even that was only for a second. After that, she'd be back to smiling like an idiot. Tell you the truth, she seriously creeped me the fuck out. I wanted to just end it there and forget all about her. But the rest of the guys, they took a liking to her. Wanted to bring her back with us. Tried to talk him out of it, but one guy, he says, "What's the big deal? Ain't like we're adopting her. We'll have some fun, and when we get bored, she's gone." And it's pretty damn hard to argue against that. If I kept fighting it, I'd look like I was trying to be good guys, to be the good guy or something. And so now we've got this kid in the crew. First month or so she's with us, everyone's treating her like their plaything. But after a little bit, she starts to change. They start being kind of nicer. Giving her extra food, letting her join in on conversations, that sort of thing. She still creeped me out, sure, but the way she never stopped smiling, but she wasn't ugly or nothing. Could be kind of cute, even. Once she started talking with us more, I realized something. None of us knew the damn kid's name, so I asked her and get this. She says, "I'm me!" Dead fucking serious. Now, like I've been saying, the girls always never made much sense. But this is on another level. So I press her. "No, what's your name?" But she just tilts her head and says the same thing. "I'm me." "So you're saying your name is me?" I ask, and she gives me this big fat grin and nods her head. Who the hell names their kid me? Her parents seemed like reasoned enough folks. They at least cared enough to try and protect her from me. They just ran out of ideas trying to come up with a name for her or what? As I'm thinking to myself, I see there's something sewn into the bottom of her shirt. Looked like writing, but I can't read for shite, so I called over the only educated guy in the crew and have him look at it. Turns out it was the name, Jaren. "Your name ain't me, it's Jaren," I say, and she lights up like a fucking village we just got through with. "Really? My name's Jaren? I never knew." I let out the biggest sigh of my life and say to her, "You're the dumbest broad I ever know." Didn't Gratian also say that? I feel like he said that. About a month after we picked the girl up, we had a bit of trouble. There's this chubby bloke by the name of Marcos, and he starts getting this thing for her, yeah? I ain't wanting to get on a guy about what gets his rocks off, but a 5-year-old girl? That just ain't right. Marcos was kind of slow in the head, always at the back of the pack, and mostly useless when we went out on jobs. Only reason we kept him around was because he made a good pack mule. He was annoying as all hell besides. Always saluting and saying, "Aye aye," like he thought we were a bunch of pirates or something. And he called everyone boss, because apparently that was the only form of respect he knew. Day after day, "Aye aye boss," and "I'm on it boss," and "Let me message you back boss" was enough to drive a man mad. And because he was the first one to talk to her, Jaren started imitating him. That's why she talks like that. That's so now we got 2 buffoons running around talking like that. Obnoxious as it was though, end of the day, that's all it was. But the changed friend Marco started getting real fond of the girl. Every little thing we did, he'd go around telling us to be nicer to her, yeah? At first we saw it, compared to when we first took her in, we were treating her pretty damn well. Of course, that's all relative. A proper slave probably still got less hell from their master than we gave the girl. But remember, we only brought her along so we could have fun. We never intended to make her part of the crew. But Marcos wasn't having any of it. There's a little on my mouse. Get away. Stop it. There we go. Marcos was an asshole. Son of a bitch actually snapped at us. "You'll pay if you don't stop right now, boss." Idiot wanted to fight, so we gave him a fight. The whole lot of us beat the ever-loving hell out of it, stomped his face so bad you couldn't even recognize the poor bastard anymore. That wasn't enough for him. His face a big bloody mess, Marcos said. "I won't let you lay another finger on Jaren, boss." Tell you the truth, I didn't think he had the sack. Then Jaren comes trotting in. Seems like she heard the ruckus and wanted to see what was up. Marco's eyes went wide and he yelled, "Stay back!" But the girl, she just stood there, same old stupid smile on her face. Seeing her come in, one of the other guys smirks, plops his arse down on Marcos' back and holds an eye up against his neck and says, "Hey, Jaren, you like Marcos?" With a big grin, she answers,
"Hi, boss!"
Through the swollen, bruised up mess his face was, you could just barely make out Marcos smiling. Next, the guy on his back says, "It would it make you sad if we roughed him up a bit more?"
"What do you mean, rough him up?"
Cut off his fingers, scoop out his eyes, you know, have a little fun.
Fun is fun. Why would that make me sad?
You hear that? I ain't making this up! Ghost is standing there smiling, and Marcos, he goes pale as a ghost, and he did it. Cut off his fingers. Jaren's still smiling. He gouged out his eyes. Still smiling. And finally he slit Marcos' throat. Even as the blood sprayed right into her face, she never once stopped smiling. Just before he kicked off, Marcos looked like he was thrown into the deepest, darkest pit of despair. I seen the hope drain from God knows how many men's eyes, but that was on a whole another level. And as you can imagine, I wasn't the only one Jaren creeped out anymore. Everyone felt the same way. She was so messed up, we all thought we might start turning into her if we kept her around any longer. So next city we land in, we sell Jaren off, and we all lived happily ever after, minus one twisted little girl. What you think? Juicy enough for you? You feel sick? Sorry about that, chum. I thought you had a stronger stomach. I do wonder what Jaren's up to these days. She's still smiling like an idiot, or... Recollections of a vassal's wife.
Good day to you too, sir. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Yes, that's correct. This is where our slaves were when they were stolen, as I described when I reported it. What? The number of stolen slaves I gave you doesn't match the number you heard from other sources? Yes?
I'll just mute for a while. I need to apply something on my back.
Yes. Take care of your back. Okay, see you soon. Good luck. No, I had no intention of deceiving you. I simply assumed it wouldn't be a problem, because I wasn't claiming we lost more than we did. Yes, I understand. I beg your pardon. I should have reported the number correctly. I will do so in the future, so please, if you would look the other way just this once. Why did I report fewer slaves were stolen? I imagined you would find that curious, yes. Why would anyone want less if their lost manpower returned to them indeed? It's quite simple. I did not think it would be any great loss if she were not to come back. Oh, she was a fine worker. And she didn't cause any trouble either. You want to know about the girl? That'll be of any help to your investigation, but I don't mind telling you. I warn you, it's not a terribly pleasant story, though. Very well, as you wish, sir. We purchased her when she was about 5 years old, so she's been with us for quite some time. 8, maybe 9 years now. Okay, so she's like 13, 14. Okay. When we brought her, she was still too young to put to work. She was in good health, though, and always had the sweetest smile on her face. So I had little doubt she would do as she was told. Slaves tend to be so gloomy and depressing, you know. Not that I don't understand, but unlike many, we try not to mistreat our slaves. As long as they do their work, they have nothing to worry about. The best slaves, I think, are the ones who aren't so dreary as to be infectious and make us feel guilty. The girl's name was Jaren, and while she talked rather funny, she was as bright and cheerful as I'd hoped. And she was always smiling from ear to ear. For a while, it felt like we had a brand new member of our family. I was so taken with her, I almost considered adopting her instead of keeping her as a slave. And how did I go from wanting to take her in to not caring if she didn't come back? It's rather difficult to explain, to tell you the truth. Yes, that's right, she never caused any trouble. She never stole anything, and she never refused to work. She never cried, and she never got upset. No matter what happened, she always did her work with a smile on her face. It sounds like the ideal slave. Yes, you would think so. And I have no complaints regarding her work. Neither did my husband, nor our servants. I imagine I'm the only one who would be happy to never see her again. I started thinking the girl peculiar about 2 years after we purchased her. Right around that time, one of our other slaves attempted to run away. Yes, that's right. As I said, we have never once mistreated our slaves. Other slave owners could learn a thing from us, I say. We all tell our slaves that when we buy them, that they will be set free as soon as they've worked enough to pay back what we pay for them. So, he had only 10 years and then he would have been set free. But he chose to spit in the face of our generosity and... My apologies, I've gone off track, haven't I? The slave who ran was captured soon after, but trying to flee is one of the greatest transgressions a slave can commit against his master. As such,
It was, as I'm sure you understand, necessary to punish him. But I assure you, we never mistreat— Yes, I'm sorry, I'll continue. So as I said, he had to be punished. My husband took a length of rope and used it as a whip, I think it's called. He had all the slaves to watch as he lashed the one that had tried to run. It was for their own sake. The other slaves needed to see what would happen if they attempted to flee. The lashing continued for a full day. All the slaves present reacted differently. Some averted their eyes, some cried, some looked on trembling, but it was clear they were afraid, which meant the punishment had served its purpose. For everyone except Jaren, that is. Yes, that's correct. She simply smiled. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but every time I looked over at her, I saw the same thing. As the slave being lashed screamed out in pain, Jaren didn't even flinch. She just stood there, smiling. Just looking at her gave me the chills. My husband thought it curious as well, but he wasn't as nearly as put off as me. She was 7 at the time and a hard worker, and he said there was no issue as long as she didn't cause any trouble. But I completely missed the point, you know? She gave me the creeps. I wasn't comfortable with her around. But of course, my husband has the final say. I couldn't defy him. So I did my best to forget that day. I couldn't get the girl out of my mind, though, no matter how hard I tried. My gaze was drawn to Jaren, and I noticed quite a bit as I observed her more carefully. Say one of the slaves hurts himself while working. You might expect another slave to ask if he's alright, to help patch up the wound, to volunteer to take on his responsibilities for the day, to show concern and compassion. But Jaren, she'd just smile and go on her way, not a word. She was hardly perfect either. Is anyone, though? And she'd make mistakes occasionally. Everyone slips up, and we try not to make a huge fuss about it, because we sincerely value our slaves in the workday. My apologies. God, I hate this woman. In any case, we can't simply brush such mistakes off, so we make sure to admonish them whenever something happens to ensure things run smoothly. But even as I scold her, Jaren's still smiling. As I'm sure you can imagine, it's hard not to feel as though you're being disrespected. So once I lost my temper and smacked her. It was only the once though, I swear. I'm not a violent woman. I hate raising my hand to anyone. I was sure that if nothing else, it would make her cry. But still, she smiled, with half her face red and swollen. I was so perplexed. I came straight out and asked her, "Why do you not cry? I just hit you. How can you keep smiling?" And she said, "Why would I cry? I'm not sad about anything." Pressing the issue further, I discovered she had evidently never felt bad for anyone in her life, including herself. Can you imagine? How terrible is that? It's not right. So I decided I needed to teach her how she was supposed to act. I taught her that when she saw someone get hurt, she needed to show sympathy. That when she was being reprimanded, she needed to show remorse and desire to improve. Jaren listened carefully to every word I said, and before long, she started putting my teachings into practice. At first I was relieved. Jaren was finally a regular girl. She showed concern, compassion, regret. But it was all an act. She acted sad when someone got hurt, then she turned around and was smiling again. It never lasted for more than a few moments. Emotions were but a flash, there, then gone before you realized. It wasn't normal, wasn't human. She didn't genuinely feel sympathy. Beyond the surface, she was no different than the girl who smiled as his fellow slave was being whipped before her eyes. Jaren had learned nothing. Unable to bear it anymore, I went to my husband again. I told him she wasn't normal. There was something wrong with her. I implored him to do something. But my pleas fell on deaf ears. She was a good worker, he said. We couldn't ask for a better slave, he said. Oh, but he couldn't have been any more wrong. He wasn't the one who had to look after her. He had no idea what she was like. How unsettling it was merely being in her presence. How deeply upsetting it was. My apologies. I'm fine now. As you can imagine, I'm not particularly fond of Jaren. So it was a weight off my shoulders when I heard she was one of the stolen slaves. Why are you giving me that look? You think I'm the one who has the problem? Oh yeah, she definitely has the problem. I mean, it's not that Jaren doesn't have a problem, but this woman also definitely has a problem. You think there's nothing wrong with her, just like my husband? One look at her smile and you'd know I'm telling the truth. That she's not simply a little eccentric. There's more to it than that. I can't take it anymore. Is there no one who would understand me? Recollections of a prostitute. Kick back for a bit, why don't you? I'm in the mood to talk. Nah, I'm not gonna charge you extra. I don't bill by the hour. Oh, you never thought of me as a talkative girl?
I guess that just goes to show how much I've taken to you. No, I'm not trying to butter you up, I swear. I've been thinking a lot these days about the place I last worked at, and it's really been getting me down. I can't think of anyone I want with me at times like this more than you. Did something happen there? I've been waiting for that question. It's a bit of a long story. I hope you don't mind. There's a city about 10 days by carriage from here. You know the one, right at Lord Barnier's doorstep? The place I used to work was there, and every so often, the Lord would summon a few of the prettiest girls to come to his manor. I'm hardly the best looking girl around, even out here, so I was never one of the chosen. But honestly, I'm lucky for it. It's not the kind of thing you want to go mentioning in public, but the Lord has some, unsavory hobbies. Every girl who ever came back said, there's no amount of money you can pay me to do that again. Word is, the Lord has a taste for torturing and killing his slaves. Not just if you screw up either. If he's in the mood and he so much as sees you, you could be dead. He's got a dungeon under his manor too, they say, and you can hear wailing coming from down there at all times of the day. The Lord enjoys all kinds of different kinds of torture. Flaying, dismemberment, boiling, the water cure. I'm sure he uses others, but I've only heard bits and pieces secondhand. He only ever killed the slaves though. The girls all came back in one piece. On the outside, at least. Being forced to watch people get brutally murdered did a real number on most of them. Some were so broken by the experience they couldn't work anymore. So the Lord apparently, he hosts banquets at his manor every so... She said the thing, she said one piece. One Piece is real! But here's the kicker, he only invites nobles that are into the same sort of thing. He's not the only one. We're being governed by God knows how many twisted freaks. I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, something like 2 years ago I think it was? I'm sorry, I'll be on mute, I just can't deal with my back right now. Aw, it's okay. Take care of your back, please. I'll just... You know what? It's fine if you stay on mute. Like, I'll plow through. I'll see how much I can get to, honestly. I'll go until my voice is dead. How about that? A couple girls came back looking a good 20 years older, and they told us about one of these banquets. Most of the time, it was just him and his noble friends torturing slaves, but this one was different. There was a girl, maybe 10 years old, chained up naked on his makeshift altar, but here's where it gets crazy. No worry, I'll take care of preparing Mina Boy's funeral, thank you. The girl, who they called a saint, was covered in scars head to toes. They cut her up and filled their cups with her fresh blood. But she didn't cry, she didn't even flinch. She just sat there quietly. And when she did speak, it was to condemn them as blasphemers and sinners. Can you imagine? Chained up like that and she's scolding her captors? Telling them God will punish them for her actions? I wouldn't have the guts. Maybe she was raised at a church or something. As first thing, I think the best thing is your last gig at your voice funeral is singing The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku to be sure it won't be revived. Nice. But I'm guessing that's got something to do with why they called her a saint. Oh yeah, the slave revolt was right around that time too. You hear about that? Just rumors? Well, they're not just rumors, it really happened. Because of the revolt, the girls who'd been there made it out in mostly decent shape, and for a while afterwards, the Lord didn't send for anyone. I'm guessing he was too preoccupied patching up the holes in his manor and finances to spend much time fooling around. Sort of changing topics for a sec, but about the same time this dark-skinned girl, the kind you don't see too often around these parts, started working here. Her name was Jaren. She was pretty, always had the widest smile on her face, and real friendly. Seemed like the kind of girl who'd draw in a lot of business. And I was right. Within a couple weeks, she'd already picked up a few regulars, and our manager was going on about how happy he was with his purchase. About a month in, though, we started getting complaints from one of her customers. He said she was being condescending with him. I brought it up with Jaren, but she said she had no idea what he was talking about. So I assumed the customer was just imagining it, or full of it. We get guys like that all the time in this business. No, don't worry. You're not one of them. But the complaints kept coming in, which made me think maybe there was something going on. So I decided to talk things out with the guys making the complaints this time, get a better picture of what the problem was. Most of them were pretty useless and vague, but the common issue seemed to be that her behavior didn't make sense. One guy came in after bungling a huge trade deal, hoping to find some comfort, and he spilled his guts to Jaren. But instead of trying to console him, she laughed. You can see why he wouldn't be thrilled about that.
asked Jaren about it, she gave me a confused look and said, I thought he was telling a funny joke. It was no malice, though. Nothing. She genuinely didn't understand how the customers wanted her to act. Can't run a business like this without a solid customer base, so making sure everyone leaves happy is crucial to operation. Which is probably not something I should be talking about with a customer, but, well, you're special, so cut me some slack, okay? Anyway, something had to be done about Jaren. We couldn't risk more dissatisfied customers. So I figured the best thing to do was give her some training. Here's how you should react if a client brings up such and such, and here's what you should say if they're looking depressed or upset or whatever. How and when to be reactive and how and when to be proactive. Jaren was a quick study, so it wasn't long before she was putting my lessons to work. I would have been happy with just reducing the number of complaints to a more normal level, but Jaren improved so dramatically, we heard nothing but praise from then on. Say a patron was looking a little blue, she'd give them a big pouty face and say, What's the matter? You can tell me anything. Oh no, that's terrible. I feel so awful for you. Is there anything I can do to help? Anything at all? Just this constant stream of comfort. Almost to the point of being excessive. She'd gone from bright and energetic to sweet and sympathetic as well. On the surface, anyway. Every condolence she offered was completely fake. She was acting, and I knew. Because I was the one who taught her how. There's nothing wrong with that, though. We're not in the business of genuine human interaction, after all. Thinking back on it now, though, I probably should have taught her what the real thing felt like, rather than just how to fake it. About a year later, the Lord started sending for girls again. We all knew he was a madman. That was common knowledge. But he paid well, and everyone always came back alive, so we reluctantly complied. But we were wrong. He did kill the girls this time. One came back alive, but she was missing an eye and half an arm. She was in no condition to go back to work. Even just going on about her daily life would be difficult. We were aghast, but things only got worse from there. The next time the Lord sent for us, we panicked. For one, no amount of money was worth what waited at the Lord's manor, and two, it was impossible to run a business if your other employees kept getting killed. So we attempted to turn him away. But his messenger simply said the Lord will not take no for an answer. We either complied or were all executed for treason. What little hope we had left crumbled. We were screwed either way. So we fought among ourselves like a pack of wild animals. I'm too ugly, you go. I have more regulars, you go. No one likes you anyway. Pure chaos. That's of course part of the brawl. And here's where she comes in, Jaren. Everyone's in a big mob, clawing at each other's faces off, and she just tilts her head and asks, Why are you so afraid of the Lord? Seeing that stupid, clueless look on her face, just about everyone in the room burst a vessel. Alright, we'll send her, we said, and it was decided. Jaren smiled, not bothered in the slightest, and gave us a cheery, see you later, and went off to the Lord's manor. To no one's surprise, she never came back. We figured she'd been killed. A week or so later, the messenger showed up again asking for more girls. By this point, the manager was furious. He demanded to speak with the Lord in person, saying if something wasn't done, the whole brothel would collapse, and he'd put his life on the line to prevent that. Seeing him so resolute, I felt a newfound respect for him. I also thought he was a complete idiot. But I still respected him. After all, there was no way the Lord would be open to negotiation. That much was obvious from everything he'd done. The manager and a few assistants set off to the Lord's manor, and about 2 weeks later he returned. Or his head did. His assistants managed to avoid death, so they were able to tell us what had happened. No one was exactly thrilled to hear more twisted tales about the Lord, but we listened anyway, and no one could have imagined what they told us. Jaren was there, with the Lord, alive and well. Not only had she not been killed, he'd apparently taken quite a liking to her. The manager was surprised to see her too, but he figured it was as good a chance as he would ever get. If Jaren would speak up in his favor, the Lord might actually listen to her. So emboldened, the manager pled with the Lord, begging him not to harm the girls, that he wouldn't be able to send anyone else otherwise, and for attempting to oppose him, the Lord ordered the manager be executed. The manager, however, entreated Jaren for help. If you have a heart, Jaren, please, tell the Lord not to take my life. I have people who need me. Without hesitation, Jaren nodded, saying, You think you can maybe let him live? It seems a bit, I don't know, disrespectful for a whore to speak to the Lord like that, but he didn't get upset with her or anything like that. He really had taken a liking to her, apparently. The Lord nodded and said, I'll offer you a choice, then. Jaren, you may have whichever one of the following you prefer. Either I spare this man's life, or you can have my full attention for the rest of the day. The manager and his assistants were all baffled. How was that even a decision?
How was the man's life? A man who had employed her for more than a year, no less, comparable to a little attention. But they were even more baffled by Jaren's reaction. She thought about it for a second, and then, blushing, she said,
I want your attention.
Everyone's jaws dropped. Jesus. That was hard to say. The manager about burst into tears. He begged her to reconsider, to have pity. He asked what he had ever done to wrong her.
You never did me wrong, she said.
Then why won't you have him spare me?
I just want his attention more.
You're willing to let me die for that?
What's so scary about dying anyway?
Not only did she not comprehend sorrow, she seemed to be devoid of anything resembling fear as well. Which explained why she had so much trouble sympathizing with people's suffering. Why she was always smiling, no matter how bad things got. Without our manager, the brothel went to hell. His son took over, but he didn't give a damn about any of the girls. All he cared about was if he had enough booze to keep himself perpetually smashed. So figuring I had a better chance elsewhere, I left everything behind and ran, leaving my future in fate's hands. Fate was kind to me and I managed to make it here. They come to me in my dreams sometimes, though. I still see the faces of the poor girls sent off to the gallows. Doors dropped. Yeah, that was what that sounded like.
What? Where am I again?
Awake again, are you, whore?
Who are you, sir?
It would seem that your memories have not fully recovered. PM you on Discord a Melia art that healed my back. I mean, it didn't, but I did feel it metaphorically. Okay. Aww, that's very sweet. I like it. Very, very pretty. Allow me to remind you how you got here, then.
No, wait! It's right at the tip of my brain. Let's see. I was at the brothel. Then I was invited to the Lord's place. I got brought to a big city. Then I was taken to the Lord's castle. The Lord called me into his room. And then he strangled me.
Indeed. Then Barnier sounds much saner in the flashback. I'm sorry, I can't do the... Your memory has returned without problem.
I'm super duper good at remembering things. Wait! Why'd you strangle me?
To test my theory.
Your theory? Of what?
That you're mad.
Mad? About what?
Not that kind of mad. First of all, I never bring just one whore to my quarters. I brought you here because you piqued my personal curiosity.
You mean you're having orgies in here every day? Neat! Wowzers! You got some serious stamina!
Not being alone with one person reduces the chances of an assassination attempt.
Ah, that makes sense. It's pretty tough being the Lord, huh?
Jaren and Barnier are the perfect example that there's always someone for you. There's always a Barnier-shaped block for a Jaren-shaped hole. Killing me with that.
So, what are you so curious about little old me for?
The other day, you and a handful of other whores attended the torturing of a slave, if you recall. I made you all watch as he died. But you didn't seem affected in the slightest.
Ah! Crap, I'm so sorry.
For what?
I wasn't sad enough, was I? The nice farm lady and the girl at the brothel taught me how to be sad and how to be angry, but if I'm not careful, I forget. I'm so sorry for not being sad like I was supposed to.
As I said, you piqued my interest. Have you sobbed and screamed like any other whore? We wouldn't be having this conversation. Mina Seiya, what? Where?
Ah! Ah! Look at her! Oh my god!
I'm saving that later. Yoink! Yoink!
What? So Mina being sad wasn't bad?
That it wasn't.
Huh. No one's ever said that to me before.
I always thought you unusual, but I couldn't be certain about what you were without getting more personal. Which is why I brought you here to test that theory. You don't fear death, do you, whore?
It's not just death. I've never felt sad or scared about anything, ever. I didn't even know sad or scared were things people felt at all until someone told me. Now I know all about them and how you're supposed to act when you feel them. I just don't know what they actually are.
Truly fascinating. Tell me more.
Huh? What do you want to know?
When everyone calls you mad, but you somehow find someone madder, right? You somehow find someone worse. Let's see. Tell me your whole life story. Tell me everything as far back as you remember.
Wow! No one's ever been this interested in me. Hehehe, this is super nice. Alrighty, then, I'll tell you everything. Don't hesitate to cog out if you get bored. And ta-da! Here I am! What you think? As boring as I thought it'd be?
Hardly. That was easily the most engrossing childhood story I've ever heard.
Woohoo!
Smiling as your parents are killed before your eyes. I'm hardly one to talk, but you're one thoroughly heartless girl.
I still wish I could do that over. I really love my mom and dad, and the nice farm lady taught me you're supposed to be sad when people you love die.
That's why you want a do-over?
What?
You're capable of experiencing sorrow, no? Feigning it for the occasion won't change the fact that you don't actually feel sad about losing them.
I guess you're right. I can pretend, but I still don't know what it feels like. I don't understand why people are so afraid of death to begin with. I mean, pain isn't fun. I get that much. But if you don't let it bother you, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Plus, once you die, you get to go to heaven. So I don't get what there is to be so afraid of.
Not everyone goes to heaven.
Oh, that's right. But still, I'm sure there are plenty of fun things to do in hell.
Fascinating. You truly are twisted to your very soul.
Oh, but I do sometimes feel disappointed.
Do tell.
Like, I sometimes wish I could eat my mom's supper again, and I feel left out when everyone's talking about how weird I am. Maybe sad is just like an even stronger version of that.
I get the impression your entire experience of negative emotion is fundamentally distorted, so I don't know if you can say that. Jaren.
Aye?
Would you like to remain with me?
What?
Normally, I send whores back to where they came from and I'm done with them. But I'm offering you the chance to stay here with me.
Are you asking for my hand in marriage? Ah, what do I do? Oh my god. I'm from a whore to the Lord's wife in 20 seconds flat.
Fool. I would never take a mere prostitute as a concubine.
Drat.
I am, however, fond of you, so I'm offering you a place in my house.
So you're saying you actually want me around? Even knowing what kind of person I really am?
You could say that, yes.
Wow. No one's ever actually wanted me before.
Jesus Christ. As promised, Jaren, you have my full attention for the rest of the day.
Whee!
Honestly, it shouldn't surprise me anymore how twisted you are. Just so far, in fact, you're the most sincere and honest person in the land, to a fault. You hardly even gave that man's life a second thought. The look on his face as he died was magnificent. You're a cruel girl.
I didn't do anything wrong, no matter what you say. I didn't steal anything. I didn't kill anyone. I try to stay out of everyone's way as much as possible.
So you actually have some concept of right and wrong? Which means you understand that I'm a wicked man?
I was taught the difference, yes.
Fascinating. However, simply knowing the difference is of no use, if you don't feel the repulsion it's supposed to elicit. Knowing full well that I was acting maliciously, still you selfishly chose my affection, sentencing that man to death.
That's not what I... No, I guess you're right. I guess I did let him die for my own selfish desires. Looks like I still got a lot to learn.
No, you stay exactly the way you are. As I said before, you don't need to put up a facade around me. Don't act like you're not sad. You're not sad. Don't act sad if you're not sad. Don't act angry if you're not angry. Don't feign pity for someone you don't care about. Be you.
But everyone says I...
Your natural self neither disgusts nor disturbs me. In fact, I greatly prefer you that way. No matter how many slaves I kill and torture for my own entertainment, you never leave my side. You happily accept me no matter what I do. I would rather not lose that. Don't stand so far away. Sit down beside me.
Aye.
I have allowed you to stay here for a month now, and in that time you've been a constant source of entertainment. And you've expressed no desire to leave either, despite being well aware of what kind of man I am.
The same goes for you, Barnier. You want me to stay even though I'm such a weirdo?
The difference between you and I, though, is that I kill and you do not.
You know, I've been wondering,
What?
why do you like killing so much?
It would seem your perception of me is slightly inaccurate. It's not the act of killing I enjoy, but the look of dread and despair on a man's face as his life is ripped away.
There's a difference?
In your mind, perhaps not. Ooh.
Stop that phone. Stop that. Ugh.
Sorry.
Udusai. I'd kind of like to know what it's like in your mind, then. I told you my story. Maybe you could tell me more about you, Barnier? Not that I blame you if you don't want to tell a prostitute like me.
You're not a prostitute anymore.
I'm not? Then, what am I?
You're my property.
Ooh, that sounds super nice.
So, to answer your question, I was not always the man I am today. I had several brothers, though I was the eldest. As such, I was first in the line of succession. There should have been no question as to who was the rightful heir to the house. But my father, the previous lord, wanted my brothers to succeed him instead. Without any reason to pass over me, though. He would have faced significant opposition and put the family's reputation and legitimacy at risk. I was neither infirm nor mentally challenged, but rather extremely talented, which gave my father no leverage to deny me the throne. The one thing I lacked was sycophantry. Seeing people try to butter each other up made me physically sick. It seemed to me the last kind of behavior royalty should be engaging in. I believed that merely possessing leadership abilities should be sufficient for ruling effectively. But in this world, only those who can win others' favor make it anywhere. Only those who can make themselves look good and their peers like fools. Those who can claim others' achievements as their own, who can appear to have more power than they actually do. My father and brothers forsook me, making an attempt on my life. Because they could not legitimately remove me as the rightful heir. They could only kill me if they wanted their way. I was fortunate enough to survive the attempt, but I still carry the scar today.
You mean the big one on your back?
That's right. You're surprisingly observant.
Hehehehe.
I was in danger of not just losing the lordship, but my life. I suffered three choices: to let them kill me, to flee and live in poverty, or to kill them first. I was born to rule, though, so in reality, I only ever had one choice. I murdered my father and all my brothers, leaving me as the only one in the line of succession. But becoming the lord did not immediately win me everyone's favor. Distant relatives crawled out of the woodwork to claim my throne as rightfully theirs. The people demanded I satisfy their every whim fancy, and even my attendants tried to push their own agendas. The whole affair quickly grew tiring. Dozens were clamoring for insane matters I could easily handle myself, so I silenced them. Before long, the prodding voices had become corpses, and it was somewhere around that time that I found myself intrigued by fear. Fear is a wonderful thing, an incredibly effective silencer that spreads like a plague. Sufficient application would preemptively stop everyone from interfering. Seeing how Jacopo ended up Barnier was not as crazy as it felt on the surface. It was half mask, half measure. Yeah. Fear strips man of all his will. When it became apparent to me that one did not have to be a great leader to rule effectively, all the time I had spent in my younger days working to improve myself felt like an incredible waste. Fear became the centerpiece of my rule, and as I continued to employ it, I began to derive great pleasure from the despair I instilled in others. Men trembled at the sight of me. They bowed their heads and abandoned their dignity. They begged me to spare their lives. And what an exquisite sight it was every single time. Enrapturing. You were born into your madness, Jaren, but I was molded into mine.
Huh. That's neat.
This woman. What the fuck? What the fuck? This woman. What the hell? I really think I have it with her, and then she just says some shit. Holy crap.
But, Lord Barnier, wouldn't that make me a bad match for you?
Nito Barnito. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not scared of you at all.
Man is a curious beast, you see. Once everyone feared me, then I came to seek those who did not.
You sure are hard to please.
Huh, you make it sound like I'm merely a picky child. I like when Barney uses his big mad words. Though I suppose there's little difference in your eyes. There were a number of others among the nobles who had, like me, strayed from the path. Hardly a surprise given what life as a noble is like. So I started throwing banquets, inviting those who would be interested. These parties were to serve two purposes. The first, obviously, being for my own amusement. The second, to find those with similar tastes and bring them into my circle. I found little success with the latter, however, despite my rather zealous attempts at recruitment, so I no longer waste the efforts.
You weren't able to make any friends then?
No, I was not. Friendless. Jaren face is like,
Oh shit, I unlocked Lord Bornig event. He's speaking his backstory lines.
yeah. The other nobles had no interest in getting their own hands dirty. They only wanted to watch, getting their titillation from a safe distance. Not a single one shared the same madness as me. Jaren, you're far better than any of them.
What? Thanks?
What are you squirming about? I do believe titillation is important, especially about breasting boobily. Indeed. I thought nothing bothered you.
I am capable of getting flustered, thank you.
There's something deeply wrong with you.
You're the one who decided to throw that curveball, Lord Barnier.
Enough with the formalities already. You're not a whore anymore. You're allowed to use my name. Oh shit, do we actually get to learn what his name is?
Huh? That is your name, though?
You don't know your own lord's full name, do you, Jaren?
What?
Answer the question, girl.
I'm sorry.
Allow me to help. I'll only say this once, so don't forget it. My name is... Oh right, we did learn his name. Jean-Francois Barnier, firstborn son and rightful heir of the Barnier family. I like I said that in my normal voice because I couldn't get it out. I am not good.
Got it memorized?
Got it memorized. The most lordy name to exist, right? Jean-Francois Barnier.
That's a really long name, though. I think I'll call you Franny. That rolls off the tongue nicer.
The face of disbelief.
I assume I can take that cryptic chuckle as an okay?
Only if you wish to be hanged. Call me Francois.
But Franny's so much Genie, Franny, Barney.
Jaren. Get up, Jaren.
Huh?
I swear, you spend every moment you're not otherwise occupied sleeping.
I love sleeping.
So get up, you feeble-minded Nimrod.
Ow! You didn't have to hit me, yeesh. They're nice ways to wake up a girl, you know.
I gratefully only hit you hard enough to wake you. I swear, the church may have to redefine sloth if they ever meet you.
This bed's so comfy, though.
I do realize the blood of dozens of women have seeped into every fiber.
Comfy's still comfy, though.
That wouldn't bother you, would it?
So what's up, Francois? You need me for something?
Yes, I have a favor to ask of you.
What? A favor? Of me? What is it? I'll do anything.
Without even hearing what it is?
It doesn't matter what it is. You say the word and I'll do it, Francois.
And what if I ask you to take your own life right here?
Just give me the knife.
I should honestly be more used to this by now.
I want to do anything for you, Francois. I love you. No one's ever cared for me like you before. I was ever wanted me as much as you. You're happy with me as I am, despite me missing the most important pieces.
His name is so fancy, I ain't even have a character on keyboard to write it correctly. Indeed. Again, I really shouldn't be so surprised. Fear enough, though, I won't be asking you to die today.
How much harder is it gonna be then? I hope you don't want me to kill anyone. It'd be my first time and I'm not sure I could pull it off properly.
You're at the bottom of my list of prospective assassins. Wise decision! I doubt you could successfully smother a baby. Although, you could probably cause a great deal of death, I imagine. I would like to make you into a mole.
So you want me to dig holes?
In a sense. There's been word of unrest building in the city of late. Money and resources gathered below the table. Murmurings of resistance being organized.
So, a bunch of baddies.
Precisely. I want you to go down to the city and try to find as many baddies as you can and report back to me. Can you do that?
I can try.
Excellent. A whorehouse would be the best place for you to start gathering information, I think. All I need you to do is deliver reports. Anything more involved will probably cause that empty head of yours to burst.
Aye aye! I just realized if I go into the city, I won't be able to see you as often, Francois.
Does that displease you?
A whole lot. Oh, I bet this is what being sad feels like.
In your twisted mind, perhaps so. How about this? I'll have a servant act as a regular quiet client of yours. He'll pretend to be a well-off merchant. At regular intervals, he'll patronize the brothel, requesting your services and bringing you back to his residence. You'll pay well enough that they won't mind if you're gone for a few days, during which time you can come back to the manor and see me. How does that sound?
Whee! I love it!
Next, we need to discuss how you present yourself. Although you're free to be yourself in my presence, you will need to be put down on a suitable act down in the city.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Ugh, I'm getting butterflies.
You spent years doing precisely that before you came here.
But I didn't have you counting on me to do a good job of it back then, Francois.
Allow me to offer you a piece of advice, then.
What? I'm all ears.
Freely tell others about the misfortunes of your upbringing.
I don't think I had a bad childhood, though.
You may not, but others will. Your parents, murdered as you watched, taken captive by the men who did it. Tell people your story, but don't act overly dejected.
Huh, why not? Will people think there's something wrong if I'm not sad?
People will think it's more unusual if you get too dramatic, because it's so far out of line with your regular disposition. Good acting is subtle, not overdone.
Ooh!
People will feel great pity for you when they hear your past. And then they will see your exuberance as a sign you fought and found the strength of will to move past your ill fortune. They'll be impressed, taken with you. So you needn't exaggerate your performance. Just give it a little bit of flavor. As long as you don't tell anyone those emotions are beyond your grasp, no one will have any reason to suspect otherwise.
Huh, neato. I'm feeling a lot better about this now.
I expect you won't disappoint me.
Aye aye, boss! So, hey, Francois?
What is it?
What will you do if, hypothetically speaking, if when I go down into the city, I learn what sadness and fear feels like?
I would kill you, because I would no longer have any interest in you.
Awesome! I'm just glad you didn't say you'd kick me out. Every girl dreams of being killed by the man she loves.
Jesus, that's foreshadowing! Holy crap! Holy shit on the... Shit balls! Shit balls! Shit balls. That's all I have to say to that. Shit balls. No, no they do not.
Hehehehe.
You want me to kill you? Jaren want the opposite magnetic pole if I can fix him. Yep.
I can be corrupted by him.
Is what she went with.
If it comes down to it, I guess. Though really, I'd rather be with you forever.
Into the room, Jaren, now.
Ow, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're gonna yank my arm off!
I wouldn't have it too if you wouldn't move. If you would move.
Blah.
Listen very carefully. You stay in this room until everything is blown over. Do not open the door for anyone.
But... Is this what I think it is?
You are only to leave the room if I tell you it's safe, or the manor goes completely silent. And if someone breaks down the door, tell them you're being held captive by the Lord. My predilections are well known among the people. No one will suspect you're lying. I must go now. Farewell, Jaren. I rather enjoyed our time together.
Wait! Don't go! I got an idea, Francois. We could escape through the window there. Tie the sheets up into a rope and climb down. Then we could go somewhere far away where nobody will find us.
I do not have that liberty.
But why not?
Because I'm the lord of this land. I was born to be the lord. I murdered my own family to keep my claim to this title, and I will not abandon it until my final breath. I was a fool and a tyrant, neither a great leader nor a great man, but I still bear the responsibility of my role. Fleeing is not an option.
I never thought you were a tyrant.
The rest of my lordship would disagree with you. I use fear as a weapon of control, murdering slaves for fun and prioritizing my own desires over the needs and lives of my people. Do you have a better word for what I am? Whereas you grasp the difference between good and evil, but lack the requisite emotions to give those concepts meaning, I knowingly chose to stray from the path of righteousness.
Didn't you say you could run things just fine with fear? That it was very effective?
Indeed. You can run things exceedingly well with fear, though I never said you could do so forever. I first saw signs of people were turning against me 3 years ago. Well, I did what I could to crush the seeds of revolt before they grew. It would seem I missed a few.
If you knew this was coming, couldn't you have stopped it?
I've traveled so far down the wicked path, it would be nigh impossible for me to find a way back into the light. Which means all I could do is continue on and see what awaited me at the end. I could never play the benevolent ruler, though. Those people are inscrutable to me. They all appear to be either ravenous beasts or feeble-minded swine. Were I able to have any love for my own people, perhaps things could have turned out differently.
I can't stay in here and wait, Francois. I want to be with...
You will do as I say, girl.
Eh!
What's gotten into you, Jaren? Death is supposed to be meaningless to you. You do not experience sorrow over loss.
But I...
Should I not come back? Go on smiling. Do not think I will simply let them walk in and kill me. I have dozens of skilled guards, and I can handle a sword myself as well.
You go, girl!
Yeah. Far better than any mere peasant. You're getting closer. Now remember, you're not to leave this room, understood? You're my property, and property does not defy the will of its master.
And what if I do come out?
Jaren, you will not be of any help to me out there. And should you have struck me in any way, I will not hesitate to kill you. You do not have a choice. Wait, they keep talking about pheasants, now I want some chicken. Chicken? Is that clear?
Francois?
What? Time is running short.
I love you.
I will always place myself, the Lord, Jean-Francois Bonnier, above anything else in the world. And you second.
Wait! Second? That's kind of super crazy wow, isn't it? Well, I'm shaking a bit here. I've never felt this way before. Is this what being scared feels like? Huh. This is a lot worse than I imagined. It hurts real bad, like someone's sitting on my chest. I can hardly even breathe right. But it's kind of really wonderful. No, I can't do this. I can't be away from him.
No, it's what getting red flagged feels like, Jaren. I know, right? An orphan's tale. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God? But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. I can't read that fast. They that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusted in them. Psalms 115, 2-8. This part is what lasts around 6 hours. Okay, so this is like a good place to... Yeah, okay, so this would be a good place to cut it off. We're around 3 hours. Pretty good haul. Yo, what's up, Popper Claus? I know, right? Yeah, I think this wouldn't be a bad place to cut it then. If this is the start of a new segment, and we're around the 3 hour mark. Okay, let me just Brum. There we go. I'm just gonna double check that I save it. Yes, that's Father Claus. Can I actually do it up here in this, like, wait. Exit the mansion? Oh, nice! That's how you can do it. I would say 8 hours streaming if this game is left. We could get that down in 2 weeks. Probably. At the moment we have... Yeah, we do have 2 weeks, actually, exactly. We could do that if we push a bit next week, and we can also we can definitely okay. I have some announcement to make about not next Saturday, but next Saturday again, and I'll be posting that on Twitter tomorrow. I was thinking of also doing the announcement like during the Ishin stream tomorrow, because that's exactly 2 weeks. There will be something happening on April 8th. The stream will be around the same time, so no worries there. But I just want you to get ready that there's like something coming. It's very exciting. I'm very excited to announce it. So also, this is definitely quiet. I'm gonna find some music. Wait, give me a second. I hate sitting in silence. God, it makes me feel so wrong. Okay. Browser is on. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks for giving me some sound. Thank you. Okay, there we go. We got some sound. Okay, so yeah. I will be announcing some exciting stuff tomorrow, so I hope you will join us for that. Missing because old Mo feels nostalgic. Yeah. Yeah, we do have some funny hashtag memes. Hashtag memes. Okay. There we go. Yeah, like, it's all good. I'm pretty excited for what's gonna happen. Let me just... Okay, Argo, I want you to... Okay, can you change the category to just chatting? Try it. Try it, come on. I want you to do it. I want to see if you can do it. It's exclamation point game and then the category. Yay! Look at that! Isn't that fun? Wow, 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 woo! Wow, 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 woo! Why does it have a Steam link? Wait. Why does it have a Steam link? It's an actual R18 game! No! 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 Oh my god! I know, but I didn't know that the just chatting category was actually a game! No, but it's the correct category! What? People just like co-opt a games category for chatting streams? That's insane. That's insane. I love it. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's Nightbot's problem. Yeah, maybe it's Nightbot who just put a Steam link in there. That could be very true. Yeah. The command is game, not category. Yeah, like, I don't think Nightbot has one for cat. Actually, do I have Nightbot open? I don't. Let me just open Nightbot for a second. It's open my Nightbot dashboard. I can change the cat. No, do not! Do not! Do not. You're my top chatter today, Argo. Default. Here we go. No! Marker. Whole regular songs tag title. Yeah, no. Game, exclamation point game is the only one you have for editing the category. Here, have your cookie! It's your good boy cookie! It's your good boy cookie. I hope you enjoy it. Oh my god. I have so many. God damn it. Today was a lot. I can definitely go by myself. It's difficult. My voice isn't as bad off as I had feared. I'm just gonna see if there's anyone playing anything interesting. And if not, I think we'll just say Oyasumina. Yeah, yeah, your voice seems to recover actually. Right? Isn't that strange? So fucking weird. But yeah. There doesn't seem to be much anyone streaming anything like relevant to this, so I think I'll just send you guys off with a good snooze. Your voice will go back to bad after stream. Probably. Probably. It was a lot of fun to be together today. And I'll hope to see you guys tomorrow for Like a Dragon Ishin Owu. No Raidos, Comprendendos. I can't find anyone to... I don't know who we should raid. It's like... I guess we could raid Dancho. He's playing Uno, but... Raid Rika Pokemon. I can't raid Rika Pokemon. Dancho's playing Uno. We could raid him. How about that? You guys want to go watch some Uno? You guys want to go watch some heckin' Uno? What do you say? Heckin' Uno. Yep. Oh, he's doing a... Hell yeah, he's doing a subathon. Definitely, then. Yeah, let's raid him. Fuck it. Okay, Argo. Raid messages. Do it. Do the thing. After these messages. Woo! Yay! Remember to copy the raid, the dream raid, for either non-subscribers or subscribers. And yeah! Woo! Nightbot bastard, why you not subbed? I know someone gifted him a sub. Alright, then I'll send you on to Dancho. Dancho's a really nice guy. So I hope you will enjoy. He's a very cool, bald VTuber. You should definitely go send him all of your love. You better. And yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Oyasumina.